Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Tuesday night, and we're talking about Monday night. It is the Monday Night War retrospective. We're looking at what, weeks 33 and 34. April 15th, I'll make sure to say April instead of March, like I told Draven. April 15th, 1996, April 22nd, 1996. And what an eventful couple of weeks in the Monday Night War this has been. A lot of future shaping events happened in these past 2 weeks. Really cool. Really cool. I'm excited to talk about it. Now with me as always, he's the man with the plan. He is monetized. Mr. Etep Wokuian from Etep Wokuian's Place to Be Reviews. How are you, brother?
I am excellent, bro. Thank you for having me on again for the Monday Night War retrospective. I love this. I wish I got to watch more of it. Like I was watching the second Nitro, kind of off and on, a little bit during Drew's stream, on my phone. Just kind of going back and forth. I miss WCW so much. It's so good to be here, though, man. What up, Draven? Good to see you, bro. As always, Oz in the chat. What's up, Oz?
Yeah, hail, Mr. Super Oz. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Hell yeah. It's good to be here, my man. It is. Yeah, we're monetized now over there.
Nice.
I was humbled last night by I didn't expect any super chats. I maybe one, when Tony starts it off, he sends me the very first one, which meant a lot. And then, I think we got it was like $35 worth of super chats. That shit means a lot because I said from the get I was never in this for money. It's just it's a nice little cool thing. So we're gonna be doing stuff to give back over there. But now let's talk some wrestling, man. I'll shut up. Thanks, brother.
Hell yeah, thank you, man. And also with me as always from the Vampire World Order, the VVVVVWO. Sweet for life. Mr. Angelous Draven, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Congratulations, by the way, Etep, on hitting your 1K and being monetized. Well deserved, and it should have happened a hell of a lot sooner, but we're here. You're here, so yeah. And then it's gonna be a good night talking about wrestling. We're kind of like getting really, really close to that switchover where we eventually get the NWO and more of the things that we know and love from the Attitude Era.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what pisses me off is I was working the other day and it just popped into my head. I had the perfect way to introduce you, Draven, in my streams from now on. And I'm like, I am going to say that. That is fucking perfect. And I can't remember what it is now. I blame Keely Chow.
It's all that Keely Chow's fault, damn it.
Yeah. Fuck you, Keely. No. No, I can't remember what it fucking was now, so I'll try to remember that for
I do that too.
Yeah. So. I should have written it. Well, I should have known that. I've written a lot of, rhymes and songs and stuff in the past. I know when you have an idea, write that shit down. And it didn't. Yep. So now it's you, the fans, the audience, the wonderful chat that suffers. Instead, you have to hear my stupid NWO impression.
Hey, I did. I had audio for the graphic or whatever that I have, and I did the beginning part of it. I did the Vampire World Order, and then as it goes into the thing, because I couldn't figure out how to isolate just the New World Order out of the thing, the new music. So I just did my own thing.
Speaking of vampires, Friday night, Draven, it looks like we're going to be watching John Carpenter's Vampires.
Ooh.
For the watch party and 1K stream on Friday. Okay. It's on YouTube. So we'll share that. If you want to join and watch that with us, if you're not working, you're absolutely free.
Yeah, I'm free. I get done Friday morning, so
perfect, man. Perfect. That'll be good then.
Yeah.
So I wanted to look at that tweet we were
Oh,
talking about
s-
earlier from Summer Rae. I'm looking on her Twitter right now. I don't really see it,
all right, hang on.
but we need to take a look at this and talk about it for a little bit, because I got to say this new generation of women's wrestlers, it's almost like I always say, like, you can tell when, like, let's say the Steve Ditko or Stan Lees are like writing stories and creating characters, compared to when somebody who grew up as a fan of them then gets in, and it's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing Spider-Man. Like, they take the cool factor away from it almost. And that's kind of what Summer Rae did. She made a bit of a controversial tweet, um, channeling Brie Larson, talking about middle-aged balding men and this and that, and then she goes on to call herself a legend, which, fuck you and your participation trophy, Summer.
Yep,
Um,
here it is, right
this,
here. I got it.
I could have pulled up mine because I did comment on it too. I don't use much Twitter, I really don't. So, hey, Hail Brutal Morningwood, good to see you, brother. Thank you for making it. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Means the world.
I don't even
Means
remember
the
her.
world.
Best name on YouTube, Brutal Morningwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
All right, I got that screen share, Tony.
When did she come into wrestling? Because I don't even remember her.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really know her either. And yeah, I just found it. I can pull it up on mine.
Oh, okay.
Just
She
so
debuted in 2011. That's why I don't know who she is.
Even though I don't have
nobody
dark
cares.
mode. I don't have my dark mode enabled. What the fuck? It's because I'm never on my computer.
Why don't you have dark mode enabled, Tone Deaf?
Yeah.
Because
afraid
Snow
Jesus.
White is trending.
You're afraid of the blick screen, eh?
I'll tell you what, I got dark mode enabled on my phone because that's where I'm always fucking at.
Is Snow White trending because of Peter Dinklage and his stupid comments
Summer
Probably.
about dwarves?
You know what, asshole? You might not be able to reach the cereal off the top shelf, but your bank account can, so fuck off, dude. I'll gladly lose a couple feet for what your account looks like, you fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Who, her?
Peter Dinklage.
Oh, what did he say?
Something about the dwarves being like some stupid. I don't know.
What I
something.
miss?
They're doing a remake of Snow White or whatever. That's why
Is Tony
it's trending.
muted or?
Yeah, he's muted. I guess he's having it. Oh, there we go. No.
What?
My microphone accidentally, the wire got loose and it flipped over, so sorry about that, guys.
Oh, I was like, okay, what happened?
You can keep telling him, Draven, like...
Yeah, so like I didn't read the article, I just read the headline, but he's pissed off because it's like insensitive the way they portray the dwarves in the original thing, trying to say that they lived in caves, and which is not even true because they were cave miners.
They had a house.
Diamond miners, and they lived in a house.
The person conducting the interview should have started calling him Grumpy after that.
Mm-hmm. Or Dopey.
When we started this, we thought you were Dopey, but now you're just Grumpy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
what are you gonna do? Bite my shins?
we're gonna start calling her Summer Bray, Summer Brie, Summer Cheese, Summer Rae,
Summer Larson,
Danielle Benoit over here at Danielle Benoit. Okay, number one, Thanos. I'm gonna channel. You want to channel Brie Larson? I'm gonna channel my Thanos and say I don't even know who you are, and then I'm gonna punch you in the mouth with the fucking Power Stone. Okay.
I don't know what the punk ass ring announcer's name is, because she was in the crowd and apparently she's like, oh my god, I'm so fierce now because I dyed my hair red. Yeah, because her hair's red now. So she's super fucking fierce. And what is okay? So being pressed, that's like new slang. What is that, like being mad now? That's what they call it. That's the new fucking joto fucking word we're using.
Yeah, basically coming at somebody for
Like, why are you
something they did
pressing me?
wrong or whatever.
Yeah. Look, there's only one way most people want to press you, and it ain't even calm down, Indiana Black. It ain't even that big of a deal, you know.
Yep.
No, but she writes, you know what will always be my favorite? Not, the chance of a lifetime to do something you love and show your skills off to a worldwide audience. No, no, no. We're going to be passive aggressive here. Balding middle-aged men who would never have the slightest chance with me, AOC style,
Yep.
being pressed over something about me. Me. How many times has she said me in the first fucking 2 sentences? My, me. Like, blow my mind, sir. Thank you for the laughter. I know I am doing it right when I get you big mad. Hashtag Legend Ray. Number one, I don't think you're getting anyone big mad because, again, I don't even know who you are. You're someone I've
Yep.
heard in passing because guess what? The product sucks. And guess why the product sucks?
Because they hire people like her who are fucking more concerned with social media than their in-ring
Oh,
gimmick.
she made like a rant.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, dude.
I thought it was just the first thing. I was like, oh, okay.
No. Like, why are you so concerned with me? You should be concerned with what preventative shampoo to use. Let the girlies be girlies doing legendary things, and you go to tend to your mother who's calling you upstairs for dinner. So, number one, you put yourself in the spotlight. And,
Yep.
these people don't need defending, but allow me to just say, like, you have any control over a receding hairline. So
Dude,
you're ragging on these people for.
I started shaving my head when I was 22 because my hair was going and I didn't want to look ridiculous, and I look way better bald anyway. So
Yeah.
I shaved my fucking head. I was like, "Fuck you, nature. I'm just gonna do the job for you." And for her, for her to try to use that as like some kind of like that would be like me telling her like, "Oh, well, that's funny because you got small titties,
Yeah.
bitch. What are you doing, small titty
Yeah.
bitch? Like, oh, fucking small ass fucking grape titty bitch. What? Like, fuck you. I don't know if she has small titties or not because like you, I barely know who the bitch is.
Yeah,
Like,
I never even heard of her till today.
Yeah. So, and here it is. She says, I show up on your TV screen for 20 seconds. 20 seconds, sir. After being gone for 5 years. I didn't even know she was gone for 5 years. And you want to stay in my mentions arguing with strangers on why I am not a legend. That is legendary. You are actually mad. Not like wrestling Twitter mad, but mad.
what a fuck. She's fucking retarded.
It sure sounds like it's her ego that got bruised here.
Yep. Because she was like, I'm a legend. Like, what have you done? What the fuck have you done? Like, I'm sorry, who did you fuck? You fucking ring rat. Because that's what. I'm gonna say this, and this is. Look, this gotta stay between us, all right. Look, I'm just telling you, when I first got into business, I fucked hotter ring rats than this fucking whore.
Yeah.
Like, and I was a ring announcer. Like, seriously, dude. Like, this bitch, like, she's got a big ass fucking, like, remember that song by Kanye and Beyonce? Got a big ego. Remember that song?
Mm-mm.
Such a huge ego. Oh my God. This bitch probably listens to that on loop. Like, on loop. While she's in the mirror, like, fuck yeah, that. Because that's all this is.
Bob Holly showing up and, what do you mean you don't think I'm a legend? Of course I'm a legend. Legend Holly. Like,
yep.
This is why you won't actually be a legend. This is why you'll be forgettable, because you build a rapport with the fans. And we end up getting like those unexpected moments that make wrestling great, and usually that has to do with that rapport between said wrestler and the fans. Obviously, you should have taken. I'm not going to tell her what she should have done, but number one, it's the internet. There's always going to be somebody that says something bad.
Mm-hmm.
You could have taken the high road and just fucking ignored it. But when you start, like, I had no problem with her either way, you know, but when you start this shit and start calling yourself a legend and you want to fuck you. I don't even, again, Thanos, I don't even know who you are. So she talks about balding middle-aged men. Well, sad Deborah McMichael noises.
Yep.
Channeling Stone Cold's dark days there. And yeah, that's basically that. Yeah, you ain't all that. Wait, so people are freaking out over her being called a legend? Why? And it's not even, I don't think it's because she's being called a legend, but we're just not into the participation trophy crowd, and that's what you're a self-appointed legend. Nobody's
Riho is more of a I know who Riho is. She's better than that person, I'm sure.
Yeah, this girl's been doing it since she was like 9 years old. She's been wrestling longer than most women, and she's fucking, what, 23? Gotta give them the like right there. And then me and Etep were looking at this one earlier. That's just the perfect reply.
Yep.
Like, I haven't heard anybody. You're talking about you came back after 5 years. I have heard nobody talk about they missed Summer Rae in these 5 years. And let me say, too, I only stopped watching, in like 2014? So, like, you know, maybe 2015 even. So it's like, what, 6-7 years? And you haven't been around in 5? I don't fucking know. What, you wrestled for what, a year and a half, and you're gonna fucking, the ring means something to me, okay? So again, I know she thinks it all revolves around her, but it doesn't. This business means something to me.
Yep.
And I very much love a lot of talents in here, and a lot about this business I love. I mean, I love. So that's what I get mad about.
She's one of those disrespectful cunts who won't wipe her feet off before she gets in the ring. You know, I was a heel, and I still, every time I got in that ring, I always wiped my fucking feet off.
Yeah.
She was like ancillary character at best.
Yeah.
Who was like, she's basically like, you know, she's probably like a, what, in reality, a 7, you know, who puts enough war paint on to look like a soft 8. And, you know, she's got a decent body, and she probably fucked a few of the boys, and that's how she's maintained any sort of relevancy. And now she thinks she's a star, you know, because she's the ring announcer. See, she didn't call herself a legend. The ring announcer announced her as like legend, WWE legend, fucking Summer Rae. Like, when I heard that, because I saw this tweet, I saw an article about it, and I go looking into the tweet, and I'm like, who the hell? Oh, bot.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is this? You know, and yeah, I had to look her up. I am being generous. I am. But yeah, she's not, like, I think honestly, like Mickie James, not only far more attractive, but a million times better, meaningful, a far better worker. Like, you know, she's the TNA Women's Champion, and she's coming back to do the Royal Rumble. And this is the thing, is like, I wonder, I don't know, I'm just going off on a tangent here.
I have watched my heroes slowly kill themselves and cripple themselves, and if you ask them, and all for the love of this business and for the fans, and if you ask them right now if they're a legend, they're like, oh no, you know, I'm just walking in the footsteps of giants, you know. This chick is standing on the shoulders of giants, and she thinks she's flying. And that's what makes me mad. You know, it's not that you don't have what it takes to be a legend, or that you couldn't be one, but when you're like, excuse me, I wrestled for 15 months, I am a legend. You know, it just that, and that's anyone. It has nothing to do with your vagina. That's
No.
anyone who's gonna say that. If Zack Ryder jumped, which I like Zack Ryder, but if he jumped on and was saying the same things you just said and the same attitude, and me, me, I'm gonna feel the same way. What do we have here? Casey Widmeyer says, LOL, with all due respect, you may have the looks and the fame. Why would anyone want a chance with someone who has an ego so high and mighty, who think they are better than anyone, especially with that personality and perspective? Beauty isn't everything, but respect is, and especially in this business. Respect is everything.
And this younger generation, and I saw it in the tail end of my career when I was getting out, was respect for the business is few and far between. A lot of these kids now, and they're fucking kids. They're bitch made. They're not like when and I was in the early to mid 2000s. It was still a fucking man's business. Like there's women there, but this is a fucking man's. It's a man's game. It is. I don't
They
give
had
a
to
fuck.
keep up with the boys.
That's it. When there was women there, they trained with them. They trained with the boys, and they trained and they got treated like the boys. And that's what made us respect these actual fucking workers, not the ones that are like, I'm just hot and stuff. So like, fuck you, you scumbag. Like what? Like those bitches. Like, fuck you. Like you're not gonna last because you're gonna star fuck your way through. You're gonna get the boys are gonna run through you, and you're gonna end up out like. Or doing porn, that's basically the way it goes. She's this that's I just posted that one. She's fucking just delusional and straight ego, just straight up ego.
Here's Glenn Cooney with the Canadian flag in his little mask. Haters are gonna hate because they know that you're succeeding. And you're living in their heads rent-free. Given what you've achieved both in and outside of the squared circle, you have achieved legendary status.
Dude, she's not gonna fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. What exactly have you achieved, motherfucker?
Now there's a legend.
Like, I'm sorry,
Stratus.
making it.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
How many registries is he on?
Oh, all of them. All of them. Dude, look at her. Okay, look at her in that picture. Like this dude is fucking. But like, look at his hand in that.
Yeah,
picture.
that's his Yeah. He went anti Keanu Reeves there.
Yep. Yep.
You fucking look at that dude. Oh, such a weirdo.
He's got a hashtag BLM in there. This dude's fucked in the head.
People like this is why Comic-Con stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, use some fucking deodorant. Quit grabbing Trish by her ribs. You fucking weird motherfucker. Show some respect. Like, you talk a big game about respect, but is that respect? Is that respect? Dude. You're trying to grab some side boob. Look at that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Look at him, dude. Look at her face, dude. That is not. She's very uncomfortable.
Oh, one of those fans. That's her face. One of those fans. Like but she is professional.
Yep.
Unlike others calling themselves legend.
When I was like just basically like a fan and going to shows and getting pictures, there's a couple times I'd be at like indie shows and they have the girls come in and it's like I'd go and grab a picture with them, and I would ask, I'd be like, I'm not too, but I'm a good looking guy, I'm in good shape, and I always smell good, and I'm like, and I'd walk up to him and I was always like, hey, how is it, and half the time I'm just like, where can I put my hands? They'd like grab my hands and put it around their waist, and I'd be like, okay, but I didn't just walk up and like be like, ah, and like try and maul, you know what I mean? It's like it.
Brother,
Vinny, can you pull up the picture of you and Mickey James real quick, brother?
Yeah, pull that one up, Vinny.
Find it again, but remember, when you meet these women, you gotta grab them by the pussy.
Yeah, right. it's like you just, and that's the thing is like you show some respect, and then they're like, okay, this guy's cool, we can have fun, and then they're like, all right, come here, put your hand around my waist, or whatever, or like like that's when they know they can be comfortable. You know what I mean? But this dude, like, look at Trish's face. That is like, Jesus, just get this over with. This fucking guy smells like dead fish.
So of course he would be white knighting in the fucking Twitter thread. You know, when look, we're just saying straight up to Summer Rae, you know, cool off on the ego a bit, we might like you. But when you're sitting here telling us what you are and what status you've achieved, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Frank Sinatra didn't walk around telling everyone, I'm Frank Sinatra, I'm a legend. That's just not it. Yeah. And when you do, like, the Ric Flair type, there's a certain context and gravitas you use for that, you know.
Yep.
Summer Rae, she ain't really exhuming that or displaying that in her tweet.
She doesn't have the
photo, by the way.
personality.
So let's get Adam in here. And
hey, Adam.
Sorry, I'm moving
That's so
slow.
Oh, dude, it's all. Look how slow I am. I'm way behind.
Nice.
Yeah, see that right there, that picture right there, body language. She is completely at ease with Vinny right there. Like she's like, "Yep, whatever."
Most ladies are.
That's-
She grabbed my ass first, then we took the photo.
There you go.
See,
See, I'm surprised she's not got a clench on that buttocks right now, man. Right in that photo.
dog. Her arms are as big as yours.
Dude,
Look
right?
at Vinny's.
Yeah, right?
Look at Vinny's hand. Does Vinny have his
fucking with you,
hand right under her fucking underboob, just fucking grabbing with everything? You know, like these divas, these female wrestlers. And speaking of divas, shout out to the lovely Sherry. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. See, she's our legend, you know, and she doesn't going around. Yeah. Vinny doesn't just take it upon himself to, I'm going to grab you while I have you here.
Yeah.
And
I need to know them.
Yeah, like that guy, he's really taking it right up to the line there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who that Glenn guy was, but you can see on Trisha's face, she's like, somebody help.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let me catch you up with what we were talking about here. Okay, so Summer Rae, which is like, I've heard the name before, but I guess she's been gone. I quit watching wrestling like 6 years ago. Summer Rae has been gone for 5 years and then shows back up on TV. The ring announcer said WWE legend Summer Rae. So some people were like, you know, I don't think she's a legend. You know, she was just some girl who wrestled for a couple years.
That's like calling fucking Candice Michelle a legend.
So she hears that not every she hears that not everyone thinks she's a legend, which we're talking about a business, you know. Let's just talk about the girl side of things. We're talking Mickie James, as previously shown, Trish Stratus. I like Jackie. I think Jackie accomplished a lot.
Jackie could work. Your dog, go farther back. Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, Leilani Kai. You got Sherry Martel, Rocket Robin, Wendy Richter. Yeah, fucking Medusa Michelli. I loved her. God.
Yeah.
Victoria. Victoria, Ivory, Tina Ferrari and Glow, Ivory. She doesn't get enough credit. She could go. Molly Holly, probably one of the most technically proficient female wrestlers ever. And she hated doing the bikini stuff. And that was the thing. It was like she was hot as fuck. Like Molly Holly was hot. But she didn't. She's like, I want to wrestle. She wanted to wrestle. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to wrestle.
She was a worker.
She was a worker, exactly.
So, and here's Summer Rae, like, how dare you not think I'm a legend? So,
Right.
and she channels her, I'm calling her Summer Bree because she channels her inner Brie Larson. And you know what'll always be my favorite? Balding, middle-aged men who would never have the slightest chance with me. There she's channeling AOC. These balding middle-aged men who would never have the slightest chance with me being pressed over something about me. Like, sir, thank you for the laughter. I know I'm doing it right when I get you big mad. Legend Ray. And it's like, we're not mad over you or your title. We're mad because this is a business that we've seen our heroes kill themselves over to get that certain respect and to build that rapport with the fans. And here you come. She doesn't respect the business is what it is, and that's what the big mad is about.
Right.
Yep.
So she goes off on this tirade, and we're just talking about, you want to talk about balding middle-aged men? Well, sad Deborah McMichael noises. And even Deborah McMichael, when she's not getting beat down by Steve Austin, she had done a lot more for the business as far as I'm concerned than Summer Rae ever has. You showed up on TV after 5 years, and it's like, I quit watching like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I ain't never fucking heard of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is, dude.
Yeah, I don't either.
Same.
Yeah.
I've heard the name, but I don't know who the hell she is.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard the name Summer Rae, but to say I am a legend, I'm in the same boat as the Ric Flairs and the Trish Stratus, and that's insulting. I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna get a little mad over that.
Well, I mean, if she's going to get on a plane and show her pussy, then she's in the same, as Ric Flair. Then I will give it to her. But until that pussy's in my face, nah, man. Sorry. She's, Flair, he just had on a row with his schlong hanging out.
The plane ride from hell.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why they pulled all this stuff from WWE, bro.
Holy hell. Remember when they got rid of all of the Hogan stuff because he said something racist?
Yeah.
Racist. Then they found out he was banging the Beefcake's wife, and they just were like, no. And then they brought him back, and
and then they bring him back anyway. Like they have no face anyway.
Yeah,
and he was banging Bubba the Love Sponge's wife too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's another photo of how I greet my friends.
Yeah.
She definitely had her hand on my ass, and I was going for some.
You see, it's all about the body language. Here's Vinny standing nice and confident, and here she is just relaxed. There's no creepy vibe there.
Exactly. That other photo, oh my god, that was like, that was horrifying. What was going on over there?
So what I'm hearing is that when Etep and I meet you, both of us have to grab your ass. Is this what I'm hearing?
No, only the ladies.
I'm doing it.
Only the ladies will like me.
I'm gonna grab his.
I'm wearing.
Ass.
That's right.
I'm gonna wear a dress. I'm gonna wear a dress and be like, I'm on East German Olympic weightlifting team. My name is Stephanie.
Oh, bro, we don't even gotta go that far. It's 2022. You just gotta identify as I'm a female that has to grab Vinny's ass.
So, Vinny, this is what made us find it. So here's Glenn Cooney with his Canadian flag and his masked up emoji.
And these guys have been drinking the water in Jersey.
Yeah. This dude's been drinking the fucking water in Jersey, man. So he says haters are going to hate because they know that you're succeeding, even though you just returned after 5 years of obscurity. And you're living in their heads rent-free. Given what you've achieved both inside and outside of the squared circle, you've achieved legendary status. So I'm like, I got to see what this guy looks like. And here we are.
Yeah.
She doesn't, that same calmness, who was that, Poison Ivy? The Poison Ivy cosplay. The point is, she's not as relaxed as the examples we showed with you.
That looks like I know I'm posing for a payday.
Dude, she's fucking ready to run.
Yeah, it's, oh God, one of those fans. And he's, Mr. Respect Women over here is taking his opportunity to cop a feel.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Estrella. Oh my gosh! I need new shorts.
She's like, I'm not taking a picture with you. Your crotch is wet.
Well, you smell like
Damn.
Funyuns.
Yeah,
Catch
6 degrees in Comic-Con stinks.
Sour. Oh, dude, Grand Rapids was like that. Like I'm
Yeah.
like we walked in and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, is this what these people smell like?
Yeah.
Thank God Horror Hound wasn't like that, man. That was
Mhm.
clean air.
Clean
Hell
air.
Gap Stargate, yeah.
What
Nice,
was it
Nice and
outdoors?
filtered.
No, it was
No, it was
inside, bro.
inside.
It was inside, but
Yeah,
you know,
not bad.
it didn't have that aroma, which you know, Draven was there, so he can back me up there. It just smelled like your normal average con, you know.
Mhm.
Hell Gap Stargate, Hail Frankie Knows, Brutal Morningwood again, Mr. Super Oz, the lovely Sherry, and everybody who's joining us here tonight. I appreciate it. We've even got K-Hack, Namama Habab, whatever bot over here, so I even appreciate you, sir. Thank you for
Nahama Nabab.
Thanks, K-Hack.
Yeah.
L'chaim, Bob.
It's a Jewish bot. It's got to be. I keep getting, you know, well, no, I take that back. Egyptian bot. I keep getting calls from, you know, Egypt and stuff from Comcast. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I don't need Comcast.
Oh, wow.
I think it's the hat. They're envious of the hat.
Probably.
Did it ask for money?
It was just Comcast, and I sent you that photo, and I'm just like, I'm not listening to this. Delete. But the fact, why is
James
Comcast
Michelle.
calling me from Egypt? I'm like, yeah.
I just look at it like if the bot thinks there's enough people in here that one of us are going to be dumb to click the link, that means something to me. Thank you.
Tony with the bot
renewed
love,
sense
baby.
of self-worth.
Summer Rae was working matches in the back.
Yeah.
On her knees.
Yeah, exactly.
She just
Yeah, the only
kept-
matches that were worked were in the back of her throat.
She kept trying to hook up with Pat Patterson. Like, how do I crack this egg?
Well,
Pat's
it's the
like-
opposite.
Pat-
So Etep is saying he's got to get a dress when he meets me, and she's like, well, I guess she's got to wear a pantsuit.
Right.
she's like, Pat, how do I get with you? He's like, grow a dick.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The
Priceless.
only
I have to say, I can't say it on my channel anymore.
the only women he hooks up with are from Gotham City. So sorry, Summer Rae.
That's right. See, look, I-
Transformers.
That's
I
got
have
to
ladies-
suck now being
Yeah.
monetized. You kind of have to put a filter on. Not that you don't have one. But,
I had-
you know.
I had to bleep myself in a video today. And all I said was like asshole. I'm like,
Oh wow. Going. See, if it
It-
just
it-
slips out of my mouth, I don't care. It's on my channel, whatever. But yeah, it sucks that we got to be a little extra. Not nice with a professional. I don't know what's the word.
You could do like
One-
my boy Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest did and fire up a blunt and tell everybody to go fuck themselves. He's still monetized.
one thing I will never tone down is the Batwoman reviews. Those will, yeah, I don't know. That's fine.
Nice.
Those will stay
Yeah.
exactly the way they are.
Well, because if you got some evergreen content, you do what you do. But
Yep.
like, yeah, it's hard. It's like it's choosing and picking your battles with this fucking YouTube nonsense.
Yep.
By the
Yep.
way, I was watching some of Tony your Trump thing today, about his what, truth or true
Just
shit.
yeah, the truth social media. And
Mhm.
really the thing that set me off there, I get that you can't like let anyone on there, the media will use it against you. It's just when they use the term hate speech, that
Mhm.
is just
Yep.
giving into a certain premise, and that just
It is.
really annoys me.
It is.
What do you clarify as hate speech? Because whoever's
I
in
don't-
charge is going to have their own definition of what they
Yeah.
think hate speech is.
There's
Yeah.
no such thing as hate speech. It's
Exactly.
It's just
It's-
free speech.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's an imaginary villain, you know.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's like the snarling, frothing at the mouth white supremacist hiding around every corner. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it here, but
Dude, but think about it, right? We went from what, the 60s and 70s to the hippie movement to now everything's a hate speech, or, we can't have any laughter and joy. It's gone completely, within that time frame is what's so scary.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, it's bled into wrestling. That's the problem. To bring it back to wrestling,
everything, dude.
Yes.
Well, it has. It's bled into everything in every fucking level, from comics to movies to TV shows, and like you said, wrestling, man. It's one of the first ones too that they would try and okay, now we're gonna change it from basically having pretend sex literally in the middle of the ring to now it's you got to watch your pronouns.
Yeah, Edge and Christian, or Edge and Lita, I mean.
Yeah,
Edge and Christian. Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Edge and.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? Like they launched that whole big deal about a Royal Rumble that was all women. I don't care, right? Like wrestling's never had an overabundance of women, other than in the era that we're discussing. You'd have the old classics, granted, like we're talking about Mae Young. Okay, fine, but it never was center stage, and then to see it hit center stage, that's great. But when did it hit center stage? When the movements were going on for the Me Too and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, it's
and
not
that's
authentic.
what made it really kind of pissed me off. Like TV pissed me off a while back because it seemed that every show had to have a gay Asian with a black guy that was gay, or a gay couple. And again, I don't care. I preferred that shit back when it was in the closet. I don't want to see anybody kissing and making out on TV. Like, I don't need that shit. That's what HBO and Cinemax is for. And we're adults, so we've got porn on the internet. So there you go. And every one of us, for the most part, mostly are married. So there you go.
Well, it was all about normalizing it, so that way they could brainwash the kids and confuse them. Because again, they say, kids are the future, and if they could be sheep that follow everything that the government says and toes the line, well, look.
I identify as a girl today, so I'm going to go in the girls' bathroom and jerk one off, so that when some girl sits down, she can get pregnated. Yeah,
it breeds your AOCs and all this type of fucking weirdos right now. Because what do you think she is? She's someone who grew up with this crap, or believed it, drank the Kool-Aid. And, look, I can make money by lying, and because that's basically what it all is. It's all a fucking
chain reaction of manipulation.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't care. I don't, gay, lesbian, whatever, this whole alphabet community bullshit and what you identify. I have said from day one when they started that I identify bullshit, I identify as diplomatic immunity. So when I kill you, I identify as diplomatic immunity. You can't touch this.
I think it all comes down to authenticity. Like we're talking about, like the big push the women are getting, and it's because of the certain time we're in now. It's not like there was just this overabundance of talent spilling over, and they're like, we need to feature this. The fans are calling for it like they were Daniel Bryan, or this. Or, it's contrived. And the same thing with the narrative we see on our other TV shows and stuff. It's contrived. It wasn't needed, and it didn't fit the story particularly well. It's just kind of inserted in there, and people like authenticity.
Yeah. So. I'm curious, because remember when the fans would really just start chanting shit? Did they still do that? Do they have the balls to be like, this is gay?
I'm bad. But then again, they probably have higher technology to filter it out. Because, I mean, I was telling the guys, I was telling them, Vinny and Draven, I've been watching the old WCW like I'm at 1986, right? And I did not realize February 22nd is a big date, because that is when Flair debuted the big gold belt on WCW. That's when they went from the NWA title, the smaller one, which I will have one eventually, to the, big gold belt. And I text Tony about it. I remember seeing it on TV, but, I didn't think anything of it till now. But I'm like, that's really cool, especially having the ability to go back and watch all these. But I love listening to hear them yelling, the Rock and Roll Express, or where's Dusty, or where, when there be a specific person in the ring that they're avoiding, and you'd hear the crowd just shit talking. And this is back in '86.
Yeah.
Then when you got to like through the Attitude Eras and all that, and you'd get the big crowd, John Cena sucks, or same with Kurt Angle, you suck, and just get to, and to the outburst of whatever they were going to yell at.
And the what chant.
they'd have to beep out, such as boobies. Because, you know, it's all about the boobs, the butt, and the vagina. The 3 Bs, baby.
Grab him by the pussy.
And
Grab 'em by the pussy.
you know, Mr. Super Oz, Ronda Rousey is a good example. You know, Dana White tried not to have women's MMA, but when we talk about authenticity and something coming along naturally, women's MMA was so hot and they had so much talent and it was just so good that eventually you couldn't deny it.
Yep.
And the pay-per-view buy rate said as much, the crowd reaction, the ticket sales. In wrestling, this wasn't the same thing. And Vince, you know, sure, we'd love to have a kick-ass women's division, but WWF, just like cruiserweights, it's just not their cup of tea. Like AEW's women's division, fire. WWE can never, they just can't live up to that because that's not Vince's cup of tea.
Well, think about it too. I mean, the advantage that AEW has is the trends have been set in the eras that we're in. You go back to that, like I was saying, the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Really, women's wrestling wasn't a big thing, and what Vince did with it was a big TNA show, right? Because I mean, everybody loves a little.
Yeah,
TNA.
He didn't treat it serious.
Correct.
It's
like you're saying, you know, and to your point, it wasn't his cup of tea. It wasn't his kind of thing. His has always been about the big, buff, huge guys, and you know, your Hogans and Warriors, and you know, and that's just been Vince.
Comic book superhero kind of.
Yeah,
and not as sporty or athletic. So let's get into this first week here. It is the week of April 15th, 1996. We've got WCW Nitro emanating from Charleston, West Virginia, and it is the weekly loser with a rating of 2.8 compared to WWF Raw with a rating of 3.1, emanating once again from San Bernardino, California. So Raw starts off with Mark Merrow with Sable defeating Leif Cassidy with a flying sunset flip. Nothing too special about this match, and the finisher, not a very good finisher. But you know, we go over to Nitro's opening, and what we have is Hulk Hogan with the booty babe, Kimberly Page, and he defeats Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan in a handicap match. And after the match, Hogan's basically deciding who he's going to get his hands on. That turns out to be Jimmy Hart. But the Giant runs down to save his manager. He choke slams Hogan, who no-sells the fucking choke slam, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I'll tell you why. He big boots and slams the Giant, sending the Giant running with his tail between his legs backstage. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Hogan's final appearance, and definitely his final appearance as a babyface for years. He's going off to film some shitty 90s show. And the next time we see Hogan is going to be in July at Bash at the Beach when he returns to help Macho Man Randy Savage, who's getting beat up by the Outsiders. So,
right, I know the name of the show he was filming. How My Wife Met My Backhand.
No, that was Stone Cold. That was Stone Cold Deborah's show.
Oh, didn't he strangle her? He punched her in the face and strangled her, didn't he?
This is
Deborah, give me a beer.
Said
the fact he took her from
yeah.
I'm okay with it.
And then he's like, "What?
He took her from Jarrett after Jarrett took her from Mongo. And then the whole thing would repeat later with Kurt Angle's wife, Karen, leaving Kurt Angle for Jeff Jarrett.
So
again, Jarrett, you whore.
This kind of trips me out, but it kind of shows how tired the fans were of Hogan that Nitro was the loser this week, because I'd say Nitro had a much hotter opening.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fans, it seems like more were watching Mark Merrow with Sable defeating Leif Cassidy.
It was a long match too for an opener for if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
I mean, it not super long, but I mean, it was a good 4th of Raw. It felt.
Yeah.
I want to say a good 12, 13 minutes of a solid match.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, next up for these shows, okay, I really like this one. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he defeats Bart Gunn with the $1 Million Dream, but in this match, I mean, just piece by piece, it's coming together.
Mhm.
He counters a sleeper hold by Bart Gunn with what they called a jawbreaker, but we'll be calling that a Stone Cold Stunner here soon.
Hold on. Well, you just mentioned the Giant before. I forgot a friend sent me this. Dude, do you remember how freaking athletic the Giant was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Fucking Hennig, man.
Look at this.
Look at that kip up right there, dude. That's
Mhm.
sick. That's fucking sick.
Look at the shape he was in, man.
Dude, he had no stomach then. He was all chest and shoulder.
Yeah.
No, he was 4. He was probably
He was
I-
4?
I'd say he was probably 400 pounds, but dude,
Easy.
he's 7 foot tall. Look at how he's distributed. Like it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was a lean 400 pounds. I mean, it's probably only that because of mass. I mean, like literally, dude is just like he's thick as hell, but he's like I said, he's not. He was in better shape than Scott Norton, who was like, Norton was big, but
Yeah.
he had more of a belly. Giant was like all up top then.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I'd say probably 375. I would say 375.
Yeah.
And then the
He could.
He was
WWE
lean.
screwed him.
Yeah, WWE, he just started
Oh.
getting fat.
They
Oh,
really
yeah. Well, he also had that
Yeah.
surgery and everything.
Well, that happened a little bit after. And that's when
Yeah.
he started getting, then he got really wide.
Yeah,
That
but
happened
that's when
after Fat Camp failed.
Yeah. Dude, but now he's got a freaking 6-pack now.
it's
Which-
funny
Did he
how
lean
a
out
lot
again?
of the big guys
Oh,
that
yeah.
weren't that buff got that buff, especially after leaving WWF. I mean,
Yeah. He probably, he was trying to prove himself then, and after a while you kind of get comfortable in the position. I remember he was on, I think maybe Jay Leno, one of those late shows, and they were talking to him. This is after he was the big show in WWF,
Mhm.
and they asked him what is normal, and he was getting bigger at this point. And they asked him what his normal dinner would be. And like, well, after the shows, when I go back to the hotel room, usually a extra large pizza and a gallon of milk. I mean, that's pretty.
Damn.
That's a lot of fat.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fat. You're fucking bread and cheese and then a gallon of fucking milk.
it's a lot of dairy too, man. Woo!
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah. I found one of the photos if you wanted to see. I mean,
Yes.
he's got an odd shape. It's different from what he was, but still, that's impressive for a guy that's that freaking big.
Yeah. He was young and hungry, and that was the thing. Like,
Yep.
Andre, especially when he got real mainstream, was towards the end of his career. He wasn't very athletic. A lot of times
No.
he didn't leave his feet because he couldn't. He wouldn't have been able to
Uh-huh.
get back up.
Yeah, dude. That was it for him, man. Especially with all the pain he was in, he wasn't moving. Man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like-
I'm sharing it if you wanted to see.
Because with Andre, I mean, there were times Hogan slammed him and other people pre
Nice.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
wasn't really known.
Yeah.
It was overseas in Japan and some stuff like that.
But
And of
think
course,
of-
that was back before the back issues. But yeah, I mean, he looks great.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Nitro
Good for-
had
Good for him. Look how
Nitro
freaking
had
big
it
he
all.
was.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nitro had it all from both sides of the spectrum. You had your Eddie Guerreros and your Chris Benoits, the smaller athletic guys putting on these amazing matches, but then you have Paul White in there. You have the Giant in there fucking going to the top rope and taking crazy
dude.
bumps and
Yep.
showing what you just showed with Kurt Hennig. I mean, he was you weren't used to seeing someone that big be that athletic. Even the Undertaker, who is athletic, because of his character, wasn't pulling a lot of that shit. He
Mhm.
didn't start getting into that until like Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania years later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
After he
So-
reinvented the Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, fans
Yeah, dude.
hadn't really seen this kind of stuff before from someone so big.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It
Especially when he hit that
he was
biker run, of
Dude,
the
he wa-
Undertaker.
his heart, again, you got to remember, it's just the size of a fist, pumping all that blood. This guy, he was on death's door right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he doesn't
yeah.
look healthy.
Yeah, man. Good for him that he was able to fucking change everything.
But think
Yeah.
about too what we've learned, and this is where it gets
I
funny,
wanna share
generation
something,
after
Tony.
generation, where before there'd be a lot of protein and red meats, and then you find out red meat's not so good. There's such as
Mhm.
the whey proteins and stuff that the Etep and I use.
Yeah, the whey
eat all red
proteins.
meat and raw eggs and shit. I mean, so health wise, yeah, and the same goes with Paul though, because.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day, these are the things you did, and then now we're
I know.
learning all these other ways of getting protein and getting in shape, and not having to put your body through all that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whey proteins were fucking shit. The worst though are those power bars. Those things, they actually weaken your bones.
Oh Jesus!
That's why a lot of them they would get into crazy freaking accidents out of nowhere. They just snap a fucking bone.
Yeah.
So this was shared in a group chat I'm in earlier. Mine right off the bat is Bret Hart, The Undertaker, and Goldberg.
Yeah, like it's hard because I want to say Hulk Hogan, but he
Yeah.
put a lot of this on the map so the rest of the talent
Yep.
could be displayed. I like Rob Van Dam, but I really don't think he made that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things. So
He did it for ECW, but yeah, in the grand scheme of it, I have to agree with you, Tone. I do.
yeah,
I
See,
hate
I
to
was-
say it, but
I was
ooh.
I was never an Undertaker fan. I
love the
never,
Undertaker.
I
Yeah,
never,
I
I never,
was.
I didn't care about his streak. I thought it was overrated, and I laughed when Brock Lesnar broke it. I did. I was like, why? Like at this point, it's a gimmick. It's just he's not going to lose
Mhm.
because they're going to keep it going until you get somebody like Lesnar that comes in, and it's like Vince gets a bigger hard on for him, which didn't make any sense because of Undertaker's position in the locker room.
he was.
Yeah, it should have been Bray Wyatt that finished his streak, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I
Bray
think,
Wyatt.
I think
he
Kane.
was-
I think
he was a
no. I
dick.
think Kane should have done it. I think Kane should have if anybody, it should have been Kane.
At least it wasn't Triple H, for fuck's sake.
Well, one of the
Oh,
two would have
God,
been better.
yeah.
It would have Kane or Bray Wyatt would have
Not
only made
not
sense.
Brock Lesnar's a piece of shit.
Yes,
It's
he's always.
just-
been
But I
a
mean,
piece of
for
shit
me,
and
if I had
nasty
to eliminate the
fans.
top row, man, I'm sorry, Brett was the better wrestler than fucking Hogan by all means.
Yeah, I would get rid of Hogan, but I'll be honest. As a kid, I liked Bret Hart and Hogan. I wasn't that big of a fan of Ric Flair, to believe it or not. So I don't know. I
was
would.
for the older fan. Yeah.
See, I was a Savage fan, not a Hogan fan, so I've got no problems getting rid of the Hulkster. Sorry, Hulk.
Yeah, I
you
wasn't
know,
a Flair fan growing up either, but now I am just because of the.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
more respect.
See,
I got more respect for him later on.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I liked
was
Flair.
Brett, be honest though, man. I want fucking Piper up there. Piper.
Yeah.
I would knock out that whole top row and just leave Piper there.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I'm a Ric Flair fan because I was more of an NWA guy. But Hogan, I look at Hogan's contributions to the business overall, like Tony mentioned,
Mhm.
and just what he brought, and not to take anything away from Bret Hart, but the cogs in the wheel would still be rolling without Bret Hart ever having existed. Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan, it wouldn't be the same.
Mhm.
Bret Hart was technically, probably, literally one of the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. But he didn't put asses in the seats because of his merchandise, his marketability. His was straight, like, he was a pure wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's your guy, Bret Hart. If you're a purist, if you like the entertainment spectacle of it, you're more of a Hogan guy, because Vern Gagne said it best when he said Hogan didn't know a wrist lock from a wrist watch.
Right.
You know, but we've seen shades of it in WCW. To kind of round this back to Nitro, from the early days of him wrestling, I think he was wrestling Lex Luger, and Hogan is working Chain, and he's making it look fucking seamless a few times. So it's like, it was there. He just never had to use it because he was big, muscular, and blonde. And in the 80s, in the 70s, that's what sold. You know, big that California blonde, and that's what he was. Ric Flair was just the confident alpha male, not necessarily the biggest guy, but he was the smartest, the most cerebral, you know?
Yeah.
Could go for hours on end, baby.
Woo! Yep.
So my thing is, Taker, man, he's one of those people, if you didn't watch it all, you knew who Hulk Hogan was, you knew who Undertaker was, and you knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. They transcended the business.
Yeah.
So that's I would go with Brett, RVD, and Goldberg.
Defo. I mean, when you're talking business wise, definitely I can't, because Sting did so much from pre, you know,
Rob didn't do shit really. Like you said, he's one of the ones too. You could take him out, and it doesn't make a shit bit of a difference. Yeah. He was great. He was entertaining, but he didn't make a difference to any of that stuff. And I was an Undertaker fan, but up until a point. But I still think out of that second row, Undertaker probably be the best one. So get rid of Rob, and we're all in agreement about the last row.
Goldberg, fuck Goldberg.
Goldberg. Yeah. I'm with Etep on that one. Fuck you, Goldberg.
The difference between Goldberg and The Rock is that The Rock did love and appreciate the business and respected what came before him, because neither of them wanted to work a style where they would sacrifice too much physically. But The Rock knew what it meant to earn his place, because he almost didn't have it. You know, the fans didn't like him. Goldberg, on the other hand, expects everything. He doesn't appreciate when Hugh Morris puts him over in his first match, knowing everything Hugh Morris has done for the business and sacrificed. And Goldberg's like, well, of course I would. You know, he acts like it's owed to him, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate he's like the Summer Rae of guys.
There's those, and by the way, Summer Rae isn't some like young spring. She's 38, so she's not some 20-something. She's 38 years old.
Where is she wrestle at? WWE or at A&E? Where is she?
She was on WWE like a couple years ago, I guess, for a couple years.
Okay.
2011 is when she made her debut.
See, I don't even. I was watching then. I don't even remember her.
I don't either. I had to look it up.
That was all Kelly.
I barely watched then.
So I guess you should have posed in Playboy, huh?
Yeah.
Or released a
I have no recollection of her. Yeah, Kelly was the
So, back over to Raw. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Bart Gunn. He used the stunner for the first time, and then over on Nitro, we had the Nasty Boys defeating the Public Enemy after Johnny Grunge missed a table spot. He went to put whoever through the table, and not Brian Knobs, but the other Nasty
Jerry
boy.
Sags.
Yeah,
Jerry
he goes
Sags.
to put Sags through the table. Sags moves. Johnny Grunge goes through the table himself, and they fucking roll his ass back in the ring and pin him. So, next up. I mean, I honestly think Nitro was the best show, or the better show this week. But we have Macho Man Randy Savage defeating Earl Robert Eaton with Jeeves. And Savage right now, he's being driven crazy by Flair and Elizabeth. So he goes to hit another elbow drop on Eaton, which he just did this to somebody else a couple weeks ago. He dropped 2 elbows on him, no big deal. But this time he goes to drop a second elbow after the match, and his quote-unquote friends, Hacksaw, Alex Wright, and a few others, attempt to
Those
stop
hard body
Macho.
Harrison.
Yeah,
Okay.
his friends.
Because
Macho
Alex
Man's
was hurt at the
friends.
time. I'm pretty sure that's why he was gimping. I think that's when he had that knee injury.
Yeah. So they attempt to stop Macho Man, but Macho Man ends up hitting the second elbow drop on Earl Robert Eaton, which results in him being escorted from the building in handcuffs, which I thought was funny because he just hit 2 elbow drops a couple weeks ago and it was no
Yeah.
big deal. But while this was going on Raw, Vince is in the ring with Vader and Jim Cornette, and it's announced that Vader will meet Razor Ramon in your house, and this is going to be Razor Ramon's final program in the WWF until he returns as Scott Hall in 2017 with the NWO. So
Well, he was there in 02, remember? They came in for, didn't they come in for a minute as the NWO
yeah,
in the
I'm
early
sorry.
2000s?
It was no. It was like 2003 or 4, whatever. Excuse me, not
Yeah.
2017 WrestleMania 17. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Yep.
27.
Yeah.
By 2017, he was already half
Right.
dead and then back to life
Yeah.
from DDP.
Yeah, I was
yoga.
like, DDP
Right.
hadn't revived him yet with his yoga.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
return of NWO was terrible.
yeah.
Oh,
the yoga be
it
with
was,
you.
It was just
He
3
laid-
dudes.
I hated
Like they
that.
didn't do anything. They didn't build anything up on
When-
it or anything.
well, no, remember they had Shawn Michaels and Booker T and the Giant, and
And then they had to
stupid.
scrap all the. They had
Yeah,
to
it was-
scrap
it
all.
was-
That's when they're like, "We're resetting our storylines. Nothing from last week matters."
It was stupid.
It was that bad.
Isn't it always when
Yeah,
they
it
do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soft reboot.
Our main event
Oh,
for
hey.
Raw. What's up?
Sorry. I wanted to, just in case you guys didn't know, one of the people that was escorting Macho Man out of the ring, the Blick fella, hard body Harrison, Harrison Norris Jr. And I know this. I'll just read this because it's easier. It's kind of funny because he's in prison. Is a American Gulf War U.S. Army veteran, retired professional wrestler, former 2001 Tough Man heavyweight champion, best known by his ring name Hardbody Harrison. In 2008, he was sentenced to life in prison for his part in a sex trafficking and forced labor ring.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
Wow.
at least he tried to stop Macho from hitting 2 elbow drops.
see,
So
it's
that's
the
a good
little
character
victories.
witness.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta create him on No Mercy.
Of course he did.
I forgot about him.
The Jobbers roster.
You know,
I've
I'm
got a
scared
lot
that
of them,
if
dude.
we
I've
get-
got like Mike Enos, Wayne Bloom. I'm sorry, Tony. Shut up. I'll shut up. Go. Main event.
You could.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just scared if we get you
I got
a modern
sidetracked
day
on Hard Body
wrestling game,
Harrison,
because I haven't
sex
had one in a
trafficking.
couple years, but you would just go ape shit because of how good the graphics have gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but
I don't want good graphics. I'm happy with the N64.
Yeah, the games were better in the No Mercy era, the THQ era.
Yep.
The controls on that are perfect. The
Yeah,
controls on No Mercy are
the
fucking a
submission
chef's
and
kiss.
everything.
SmackDown's my favorite.
Techno
I
wrestling.
think Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW was one of my favorite games.
In the Raw vs SmackDown series, my favorite one, and I played up till I think 20. I've played a few, like up to like 2015, I think. I like 07. I think that's probably one of the best ones for total overall gameplay and experience. SmackDown vs Raw 07, because that's the last year they had the general manager mode. Well, they took it away in 08.
Gotcha.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved the one that it had where you could go through all the old WrestleManias, like from WrestleMania 1 all the way. I can't remember which one of those it was, but
The one I like is 2K13. It has CM Punk on it, and you can go through the Attitude Era. Like there's an Attitude Era game mode.
Yeah.
And you just go through all
I
those.
have the Stone
those
Cold
matches.
version, my friend,
Mm.
the variant. I've got his
Yeah.
autograph photo that came with it on the wall right next to Pete Daddy Dollar.
Nice.
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 So,
Who
Raw,
the hell's
the
that?
main event here is for
It's
the
you.
In another
Stick with
life,
that-
my friend.
Without the hat. He's
I'll
in
shut up,
disguise
Tony,
right now,
I'm
like
sorry.
Superman. He's got his glasses on. He's got a hat. You don't know who he is. Oh my God!
Da, 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 da.
Well, son of a bitch.
Oh, son of a
Son of a
bitch!
bitch.
Wait, hang on.
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, son of a bitch!
I think I tagged JR's BBQ in the fucking tweet
Oh,
promoting the show.
Nice.
JR's like, who the fuck is Outback?
Right now he's
Happy
watching
faces.
this like, what the
Me,
fuck?
Jamie Dunn. You son of a bitch.
You robot
So-
out bad. Damn it.
Did I?
What's up?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
you be
stoned. I'm
booped.
sorry.
You can don't.
All right.
So
Alright.
our main event over on Raw, it's for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. The champion Goldust defends against Savio Vega, and this was an interesting one. They wrestle to a no contest because Marlena tosses Goldust the title, but Savio Vega intercepts the title and he fucking nails the transvestite with his own title belt and then pins him.
Yep.
So Savio's celebrating his victory. Everyone's happy. The fans are cheering, but referee, I believe Tim White, ran down and started telling the other referee what happened.
Mhm.
While this is going on, WWF President Gorilla Monsoon makes his way down to the ring. And
Because Earl Hebner thought Vega was the one to win, and
Yeah.
The other one thought Goldust should have won because of DQ.
Yep.
And yeah, because when Hebner got knocked out, that's when the other ref came down to try to wake up Hebner.
Yep. So Gorilla Monsoon, he reverses the decision and strips Goldust of the title, leaving it vacant. And next week on Raw, Goldust and Vega will have their rematch for the title. And then we go over and we talk to Bret Hart for the first time since WrestleMania 12. He's in Germany on a WWF World Tour, and he speaks about his loss at WrestleMania 12, which, again, we kind of touched on this before, but he feels like it was tainted. He's like, look, this wasn't a 60-minute Iron Man match. This was a 62-minute Iron Man match. He's like, I'm the champion. It is Sean's job to defeat me. It's not my job to defeat the challenger. And when that bell rang after 60 minutes, Sean had nowhere to go. He was stuck in the middle of the ring in the sharpshooter, just running down the clock because he had no other choice but that or tap out. HBK was defeated at that 60-minute mark. And Bret just feels like he was a bit betrayed. He was walking towards the back. They come down and say, there must be a winner. Well, there was a winner. Bret defended the title for 60 long, grueling minutes. So he's a bit mad at himself. Like, I shouldn't have got back in the ring, but I did. And that's what gave Shawn Michaels, he had about 5 minutes to recover, and he ended up beating Bret Hart. So he says, he felt betrayed by the WWF when he won when he lost the title the last time. But now he feels even a little more betrayed by them. And he feels like, every time he loses the title, he just feels a little more distance from the WWF. And, we kind of brought that up, I believe, when Mr. Super Oz was on the show with us. But, I just thought it was kind of poetic knowing where this is going to go.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Nitro's main event, Nitro countered that with the WCW World Tag Team Champions Sting and Lex Luger going against Ric Flair and the Giant with Elizabeth and Woman. And the tag champions actually win this via DQ when Woman throws hot coffee at Lex Luger. And that
was funny. That was funny.
It was hilarious.
He's like, my face is numb, bitch. No.
I was like, Lex
causing-
Luger's face is so stupid anyway. Like,
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah. Again, it's numb. He had that he had that powder that melts at a real low point. So, sure. So
was it Parmesan cheese like Hunter Biden had?
Yes.
yeah,
Allegedly.
Okay.
Lex Biden. So the Giant recoups some face here after getting beat up by Hogan earlier by he choke slams the tag champions one by one to close out the show. He's pretty pissed off, and the show ends with Luger and Sting on their backs. So, interesting. It was interesting. Both main events this week were title matches. I'd say WCW had the bigger names, but WWF probably had the more exciting action. It ends up not really with the title change, but now the Intercontinental title is up in the air.
Yeah, but that kind of pissed me off because they were like, oh, and next week we're going to have that Intercontinental match. So it's just like, oh, so it's just a continuation. Okay.
Yeah. And for the fans, it's literally a few minutes,
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a big Vega fan, and I wasn't a big Goldust fan. So it's just like, somebody take this belt away.
Yeah.
Because Piper beat his ass. That was one of the I think that was one of Piper's last matches in WWF, because then he goes back to WCW, I do believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's on his way back to over to WCW.
Over to, because he hadn't been there yet.
That shit was embarrassing when they brought him to WCW.
Oh, it was horrible.
He just got that hip surgery, and then showing the scar, and then beating on his leg. Like, what kind of dumb shit?
But it helped. It helped with Hogan being a villain, right? Like it cemented it for. Because remember, Piper was allegedly the bad guy. He was our hero, Vinny, but he was the bad guy to so many Hogan lovers.
With Hogan, his whole career, dude. Do you remember the Rock and Wrestling show? The Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
Nice.
Roddy Piper. That's awesome. Was always the bad guy, but Hogan never got his hands on him, and it was like that in their career, like in the WWF. Hogan and Piper, that was the marquee feud for years, was those two. And then Orndorff was in the background of Piper at that point.
Yeah. Just one day, Vinny. One day, I hope to get to meet him, because I do have a WCW title over there that I plan on picking up. Because for less than $100, you can get the 2 side plates that have all his championships on it and a nameplate. I'm gonna make my own Flair belt, and I will have him sign. But yeah, that is the man. I have loved Ric Flair since cause he was how I found wrestling.
Yeah, man. So he was super nice and super cool. He was borrowing my pens to sign. So if you notice, I'm sitting down so he can't grab my ass.
Oh yeah. Well, he might have been a pal and stuck a finger in there. He was
gonna take you. He was gonna take you to Space Mountain.
He's gonna helicopter you.
I told him, put your wang back in your pants. Something's wrong here. We're not on a plane.
I'm going to ask that you guys all join me in prayer. And Heavenly Father, we ask that while they're both still on this earth, please allow us to eavesdrop on a conversation between drunk Ric Flair and drunk Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my God. Well, I did get to listen to some of drunk Ric Flair. He doesn't mind at all just going off on what happened in the back rooms and shit. He's crazy, but yeah, he was fun.
I fucking love that, man.
Yeah, in the green room.
I think he's an American hero, right? At least he was for me. The stuff, like I said before, watching him, going back and watching the old matches, him and Steamboat, the career Steamboat had pre WWF WrestleManias and stuff. And when he, because he was in WCW before he was in WWF.
He was NWA forever.
Yep. Dude, I mean, the NWA, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, these guys had, which, I didn't know at the time. I mean, I remember the WrestleManias and stuff, and I got a very little bit of WCW and or NWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, I think is what we would get on occasion. But again, NWA, but I knew who Flair was. Like, that, being in a hospital, being sick at the age of 9 with diabetes, trust me, I got to see more wrestling than I normally would. And Flair was one of the people I idolized. I always, that man was great. It's kind of the same with Ted DiBiase, seeing him come around. He was an awesome villain. Oh, I'm going to buy your belt. Oh, I'll just go make my own. It's on my freaking wall, people. The big eagle, the winged eagle is on my wall. Savage, because that's, for me. But again, that title and the NWA title that I will have soon, and the WCW title, those were the three, the big gold. Those are the three main titles, and I've got them. That's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like I'm going to get these. And that first Eagle I got, it's the cheapest. And I do want to, as I told Etep and Tony, eventually I want to start doing stuff with the belts and doing reviews or something, either with you guys, or it doesn't matter. It's just because I've got them here. But it's just like, man, when you look at 2 mil versus what they're pumping out today, again, as I've said before, if there's a specific title that you've always wanted, I hate WWE today, but the product is superior belt wise on their website. The WWF version that I have, I was happy with it. Again, 2 mil. But I'm not going to spend $250 on a 4 millimeter belt when not even about the same price. You can get the one on WWE that's 2-tone, which is one of the ones that Savage originally had, even though it's WWE instead of WWF. Don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's jump into the second week here. It's April 22nd, 1996, and Nitro is emanating kind of in their backyard here in Albany, Georgia, with a rating of 2.7, making them, for the second week in a row, the weekly loser. Compared to Raw, who's still in San Bernardino, California, with a pretty big rating of 3.3. So it's funny, like, you would think they would have been getting these numbers heading into WrestleMania, but it's actually afterwards now that they're getting these bigger ratings and beating Nitro. So not how I would have it's not what I would have put my money on. April's In Your House pay-per-view is this Sunday, by the way. And we start the episode, and literally they probably just had to wait a few minutes, the fans, but we start this Raw with the WWF Intercontinental Championship rematch between Goldust and Savio Vega.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Steve Austin comes out to
favorite wrestler.
I fucking hate Savio Vega.
And he's feuding with Stone Cold right now. And Stone Cold comes out to watch the match. He's sitting up on the entrance ramp. And Marlena distracts the ref at one point. And while the ref is dealing with her, Steve Austin makes his way over and smashes Savio Vega with the $1 Million Championship, making Goldust a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan of when they do that with the title. Just leave it on him. It's almost like when Triple H won the championship and then Vince beat him for like a weekend, and then Triple H gained the title back and he's like, now he's a 2-time WWF champion. It's like, just give him the one long reign. That's better than just a cheap ratings pop,
Yeah.
I agree. So Goldust, he's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion now. Nitro started off with okay, there's a lot to go over with Nitro. A lot of stuff here at the beginning, okay? Bischoff hypes the main event, which is going to be a rematch on this side. The tag champions, Luger and Sting, will defend against Giant and Flair, except all the titles are on the line in this match, and this is interesting. So let's say Sting gets pinned, the tag titles change. If any of them, if Luger gets pinned, the tag titles change too, but Luger's also, what is he, the U.S. champion right now?
TV champion.
TV champ. Yeah, so if
he's TV champ.
If Sting gets pinned, just the tag titles go. But if Luger gets pinned, Giant and Flair win the tag titles, but whoever made the actual pinfall also wins the TV championship, and same on the other side. If Ric Flair gets pinned, whoever pins him will win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So it's an interesting match. I don't mind when they do this every once in a while. It kind of puts a lot more intrigue on the match.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, Pete, that's perfect right there. What you got up.
Except for you really need to change it to, like, I don't know, rainbow colored or
dashiki colored.
Peasants, I like the black.
It's just like my soul. It matches.
She's. If you're wondering, I'll send you guys the whole picture. It's Dusty Rhodes' body that she's on.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So, speaking of
Nice.
Dusty Rhodes,
Ugh.
Bischoff gives the results of Raw away, and he calls Dusty Rhodes' son a transvestite.
Yep.
Dude,
he
I was
did.
gonna ask you if you caught that when he said that. He was like,
Yeah,
that
he did.
transvestite. I'm like, all be praised, based fucking Eric Bischoff. Like,
Mhm.
fucking red pilled ass and based as fucking 96.
Yeah.
Look at you go, Eric. Like,
Yeah.
damn, G.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And I think this is the first time we got like the massive spoilers too.
they've
Yeah.
done it a few times. They've gone through them.
Mhm.
So also we're on the hunt for a cruiserweight champion now. And
I
what's
was
up?
gonna say, did they ever like drop who was giving them all the intel there?
It was spoilers. It was they had spoilers on the internet and stuff. Fans in attendance would put them on chat boards and stuff and
Oh,
more
okay.
wrestling
Gotcha.
news sites. So,
Yup.
but the internet wrestling community wasn't as big back then. Not as it was still America Online days.
Mhm.
So the normie fan wouldn't really know about the spoilers or really even think about Raw being taped versus live Nitro. So
Mhm.
yeah, Bischoff would just fucking name them off, and that ends up eventually backfiring the night Mick Foley wins the title. It's the
Yep.
same night as the finger poke of doom, and
Yep. Everybody switched the channel. They're like, wait, what?
I think that's the last time. Like that was it. Raw won that night, and I don't know if Nitro ever won
No.
again, or
No.
is that when that might be
Oh,
when
wow.
actually broke the streak of Nitro beating them every night.
That was
Either way, it was a pivotal.
that was the end of it.
Yeah, it was a pivotal time. So this is going to backfire on Bischoff eventually, giving away the spoilers like that. Nah. Something else that happened in between these 2 weeks, and Bischoff mentions it, and it's just kind of sad. Etep and I were talking about this because it kind of marks the beginning of the end for him. But Bischoff wishes Brian Pillman and his family well. Pillman got into the tragic car accident, which basically hinders him from really performing in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
Gets him hooked on the painkillers, and
That's when they fused the ankle and the foot.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
fucked up.
it's gonna cost him his life, and it's just kind of sad, Yeah, he's now. I know that, he won't be back in WCW.
No.
He's gonna sign with the WWF here soon, with Vince not really knowing about his ankle yet, and
Mhm.
it's just kind of downhill for him from here, which is sad because his tag partner is gonna start his ascension up to one of the most recognizable and just hottest stars the WWF ever had. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. If he, could have just held out a few years, I mean, they would have been on top together, even
I
if
think that
Oh,
skit helped
yeah.
though with Pillman and Austin. I think it helped Austin. I think it really did. Not that he wasn't already on fire and going uphill, but that
Where he
whole
pulled a gun
Pillman
on him?
with a gun. Come
Yeah.
on, man! And then you hear it go off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucked up. That was tasteless too. That whole bit.
it was exciting though. I'm not gonna lie, that was fucking.
It was, but it's like,
It was
come
awesome.
on. What are you
Dude,
The
it
people
was-
fucking
USA
doing?
Network was pissed.
Looking back now, yeah, okay, fine. But the fact
But
of
then-
the matter that like that was there and it was on the USA fucking network, man, back then. I'm sorry. It was kind of like, holy shit, and after watching Austin beat up Pillman's friends that were like damn near twice his size, it seemed, like fat wise, not muscular wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember seeing that and going, because I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that seems legit. Sure, I mean, sure, it's a shoot, but damn, it was great because I knew those guys had wrestled together.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
man,
Vince fighting back, He's like, if we don't do this now with the guns, then we're not going to be around for the fans to see Mae Young give birth to a hand. So this has to happen.
what I want to see on AEW, I want to see the hand show up to wrestle his dad.
Yeah, I know. Why
Where
That'd
why
be
were you?
why
hilarious.
isn't
House of
why
What You
isn't the
FOB?
hand in a tag team with Brian Pillman Jr.?
Oh, dude, that'd be
and
awesome.
Dynamite Kid's son.
Or
Shit, I can't think of his name.
Taz's son Hook, you know, it's like, get the fucking hand in AEW, Tony Khan. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sure Vince probably owns the rights to the hand,
That's my
or Pat's
hand,
borrowing it.
or Stephanie.
She's using it on Triple H.
Right.
Daughter of mine will be with her hand.
Oh, good, dude.
She's like,
So-
come over here. Come over here, Triple H. She's a clone by his real name. She's just like, Triple H, bend over. And she rolls up
Get
that
over
thing.
here, Paul.
So Nitro actually, and all this that I just mentioned, you know, the tag titles on the line, Brian Pillman and stuff. This is the beginning of the show. The actual show kicks off with the American Males. Yes, and they defeat Public Enemy via DQ. When basically Public Enemy disregards the rules of the tag match. Rocco rocks the illegal man. He takes care of Bagwell on the outside, and then just goes into the ring and starts helping Grunge kick Riggs' ass while the ref is trying to get it to stop. They throw Riggs out of the ring, set up a table spot, and the fucking ref just calls for the bell like these guys aren't listening. And this is kind of a weird, it looks cool, but it's like you're hurting your tag partner. Like, Riggs is on the table on the outside. And then the Public Enemy, one of them stands on the apron facing the ring while the other one bounces off the ropes across from him, does a flip, smacks into their partner, which has to do damage, and then they both fall into the fucking table. It looks cool. It just doesn't make much sense.
Twice the weight?
I guess, but why not just jump off the apron together instead of like doing a spinning heel kick at your fucking partner?
I know, man. I'm just trying to, you know, help. That's the only thought I ever had was maybe twice the weight. Because what pissed me off was the DQ, right? Because that was a good match for an opener. It was a way stronger opener than WWF.
Well, you know, but the WWF's had a lot of hype behind it because people were waiting to see the resolution of that Intercontinental match. But yeah, I agree, there was better action on Nitro.
I mean, the lamest part was just the DQ part, which I mean, I get, but I'd have rather seen it come to a conclusion. And then, like you're saying, you know, I don't get the at least with the 3D, you know, with the two guys, it made sense. But yeah, this, all I can think of is extra weight. So, you know, because those are some big boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like, it's not like there was a title on the line or anything. I mean, we could have had a finish to this match, you know, and it wouldn't have affected much. So, it's announced that it's Slamboree. So we're going to have the Battle Bowl. And I think it's like, what, 16 teams or 8 teams? And they're going to be in a tournament. And when we get down to the last 4 teams, the last 8 people, they're going to have a singles match. And the winner of that match becomes Lord of the Ring. And this is their king. This sounds like their attempt at a King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And whoever becomes Lord of the Ring will then get a title match in June. So there's going to be some tag teams in this. There's going to be some strange bedfellows. And it's announced that at Slamboree, Macho Man Randy Savage and the Nature Boy Ric Flair will be on a team. They will be partners during this tag tournament portion of the Battle Bowl. And they talk about, you know, where we're at with Macho Man. Miss Elizabeth has been hanging out with Flair now for the past couple weeks. She's spending his money. She dropped a $1,500 tip to a waitress, running up his credit cards. So Macho Man, you know, last week he was taken out in cuffs. He must be bugging out in the back at the news of this. He's going to have to team up with the guy hanging out with his wife now. So Mean Gene actually draws some names for the Battle Bowl tag matches for Slamboree. Hugh Morris and Ming will team up to go against the Barbarian and Bobby Walker, except I happen to know at the pay-per-view Bobby Walker is going to be substituted out for Diamond Dallas Page.
Nice.
We're also going to get Stevie Ray and Big Bubba going against Scott Norton and Ice Train. And Macho Man and Flair will wrestle against Arn Anderson and Eddie Guerrero. So we've got Slamboree shaping up over on the Nitro side. Over on Raw, the Vader with Jim Cornette defeats Fatu. And then, see, this was pretty cool to see. Vader got on the bottom rope, and you're like, okay, we're going to get a Vader bomb. He gets to the middle rope, and you're waiting for it. But then Vader gets all the way up to the top rope, and this big motherfucker does a moonsault onto Fatu. Impressive athlete. Like, I didn't know Vader was that athletic, but this motherfucker did a top rope moonsault to Fatu, and basically obliterates him in preparation for his match against Razor Ramon this Sunday. Which, I mean, I guess Vince knows Razor's in talks with WCW, because I don't know if I've seen Razor on Raw at all to hype this program.
Mm-mm.
I don't remember seeing him in the last couple episodes now.
Yeah, he hasn't been on in a while now.
It's been a minute, yeah. Because I mean, the
during
last bit with
WrestleMania,
Razor
he
would have
wasn't.
been with him and Goldust. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their program was the last time he had any mic time or anything, really.
Yeah. So, and that was, and even then, like, the last time he was on and wrestled Goldust, Goldust was going into WrestleMania with Roddy Piper, so it's not even like that was really the focus. You know, it was more like a soft conclusion to Goldust and Razor's program. So,
I bet if he would have
keeping him
re-signed or was able to stick with WWF, maybe it would have picked back up. But can't blame Scott for leaving.
Yeah, you know what? We all kind of won because he left. So
Yeah,
And then we get the
no,
fake
he
Razor and the
needed to
fake
go
Diesel, and I'm
because
sorry
without
that shit
him
was
and
funny.
Nash leaving,
yeah.
Yeah.
it was.
So when does Nash leave? Like right after him?
Yeah, they leave together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But Nash will debut on Nitro a couple weeks after Razor. But they leave together. So we get and that's weird because Nash, meanwhile, is main eventing the In Your House, you know?
Yeah, with
Shawn.
Shawn Michaels going against it. But there's kind of like he's like has issues with Vince. He like said in his promo during this, so it's kind of like they kind of like set it up, I guess, sort of like that he was gonna leave or that he was having issues with.
Spilled the beans, if you will, a little bit, that they were having issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you know, it was probably an awkward time, but like, I think Vince understood, like, he never took it too personal with Razor and with Diesel because they at least kind of let him know what was going on, and he knew they were in talks with WCW compared to someone like Lex Luger, who wrestled a house show on Sunday and was on Nitro Monday.
Savage. Randy did the same thing to him, you know.
Well, Vince knew Randy was leaving too. Like, Vince even, you know, gave a heartfelt goodbye to Randy after he already went over to WCW.
Oh yeah, but you know he was butthurt because you know he wanted Randy to stick with the promotion, like Michael P. Hayes and the guys to continue on with the future. And Savage wasn't done wrestling though. You know he was. I mean, I'm sorry, that was I always took it that way that Vince was a tad bit butthurt that he went back to the ring, and then of course became you know part of the Wolf Pack, you know, and really put the nail in the coffin until Vince eventually, you know, bought him and won.
I don't blame Randy, though, because, you know, he's got to be thinking to himself, you know, how many good years do I have left? And I don't want to spend them at the commentating table and then not be able to do this anymore and live with that regret. But it kind of sucks. It probably drove him drove him to an earlier death because he's going to end up
Yep.
getting pretty roided out. And
Coked
Dude,
out,
when he did
roided out.
Spider-Man,
Screw it. What was her name
his
there,
heart-
Pete? Etep?
Gorgeous George.
Thank you, gorgeous.
I got-
Man, it was on the tip of my tongue, Giggity. I wish she would have been.
Mhm.
I got baby oil all over my bald head from her tits.
sweet.
No, yeah.
She was.
Hey, you
in
got
a-
to meet
she
the
was a
man,
featured
so
in her-
I'm glad that we
I
became
did.
friends and that I heard this
I met
story because
Macho.
I've always been a Savage fan. I never got to meet the man.
her. She was the featured entertainer at the Deja Vu in Saginaw after a WCW. It was like a week after they were there. She was like the featured entertainer, and she came in, and I was like, I don't ever sit on the tip rail, but I'm gonna get on the tip rail for this one. And she came around, and I got the bald she liked, so yeah, it was nice and freshly shaved. So yeah, I got the I got them big old implants, like, which I'm not a big fan of implant. I'm not.
I'm
I
with
don't
you.
like them.
Mhm.
But she, I had them things pretty much like rubbed all over the melon, and I had baby oil all over me. I was like, bitch, don't get this. It's an $80 shirt. What the fuck you doing?
Who was doing that to you?
Gorgeous George, Macho Man's girlfriend.
Oh,
When she was stripping. She was a stripper.
Nice.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
Oh, she was hot, dude. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. She was hot as hell. But like out of it, when he was doing like when he had the whole entourage, when he had Gorgeous George, he had Miss Madness, which was Molly Holly, which
Oh, yeah.
WCW had Medusa and Molly Holly, Daphne, like all at the same time, and they did nothing with them. It's like you
Yeah.
had Christy Wolf Asia, who I was like, I liked her, but no, man, like Molly, they did nothing with her. Medusa, they really did nothing with her. She threw the women's title in the garbage.
Yeah.
But when they had Savage had that little entourage there at the end. That was one of my favorite lines from him is when he's talking to Kevin Nash. He's in the middle of that feud, and it's when Nash has the girl in the bag in the ring, and she jumps out and pours like shit all over Macho Man, and he's like, Kevin Nash, you're a stupid person. Oh, yeah. That was just like the way he said, person. Oh, yeah. And she like slowly comes out of the bag. That
was funny.
It was just it's stupid little a one-off line from a fucking promo, but it just like I don't know, it just
Dude, when
it
he
just
did
kinda
the
always
I ain't
made
no
me-
punk bitch, it was high off his ass because she'd done there was a documentary not too long ago within the last year that they released, and she was talking about it. She's like, we were so high. She's like, we had
Yeah.
no idea what we were even going to say. And he's just like, I ain't no punk bitch. And then they walk off.
Yeah, I think that might have been the A&E documentaries they were doing a couple months ago, which all those are great. If you haven't
they are.
seen them yet, yeah.
I love documentaries. That's part of what I love about Peacock, other than getting to do this stuff with you guys and be, again, huge wrestling fan, man. Again, I'm
Yeah.
on 86 WCW just because.
Yeah.
Other than your Eminem video and catching the live streams and stuff, that's what's usually playing on. My dogs are
Yeah.
picking it up. I'm just waiting for one of them to climb up and then, off the top of the cage.
So
Starcade 86, the night of the Skywalkers, man. That shit was fuck that scaffold match. Anyway, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Oh no! So over, okay, we have Vader defeating Fatu again, top rope, moonsault. But this is what trips me out. Why WCW would lose so badly? We get just another amazing match between Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
Mhm.
Chris comes out with the Four Horsemen shirt on. He's like really like into that role now. And he beats Guerrero with the okay, so Guerrero goes to sunset flip Benoit, but Benoit drops to his knees and pins Eddie. And when the ref is looking down to make the count, Benoit grabs the ropes. So he ends up pinning Eddie Guerrero.
Extra
Dirty.
leverage.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So then Mean Gene is on the ramp with the Turner exec, and Randy Savage comes out. The Turner executive tells Savage that he needs professional help.
Mhm.
Randy Savage is like, "Is suit and tie going to talk to me like that?" And fucking talks a bunch of shit and ends up saying he's going to blow up City Hall. Threatens the exec with a fucking slap across the mouth. And yeah, so Savage is, he's not in a good mindset right now. And while he's threatening the executive on WCW, we get some more house show footage of WWF show in Germany, including they set up Jake the Snake versus Davey Boy Smith, because Jake is wrestling Owen Hart during the house show, and Davey Boy ends up interfering in the match. He beats Jake down a little bit, and Jake fights back. And I don't know, something about Macho Man going crazy on Turner execs, it just sounds a little more interesting. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you still got Davey going. Don't give me title shot.
I want me title shot. Give me my fucking title shot. Bulldog, settle down. You're on too much blow. I want me title shot. I don't care.
But you're in a cab going to a hotel. I want me title shot.
You're taking the piss out of me, mate. You're taking the piss out of me.
You're in the emergency room. Your heart valve is exploded.
Tell my heart there's no way it can. Tell my heart there's no way it can beat me. I want my title shot.
Too soon.
That's hilarious.
So, after the Macho Man promo, we get Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Ming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Who saw this? Did you see this match, Etep?
I didn't see this
I've
one.
seen it.
Oh, it's great.
I seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen this.
I don't think you saw it, Vinny.
No.
So who do you guys think won? Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Ming?
They probably put Duggan over stupid. Like, Duggan probably went over in some dumbass way, because Ming, by all rights, should just destroy I was never a Hacksaw Jim Duggan fan.
He always came up as he was retarded.
Shame on you, sir.
He was
2x4 in the flag. What's wrong with you?
I know,
America?
right?
I think he was funner in person, when you see him come down
That's
with
it.
a 2x4 and he'd get the crowd all
wave that flag. Yeah.
I saw him live like a couple times, like as a kid, and he was cool to see live. But yeah, and I when I got older, I just like didn't like his gimmick at all. And by older, I mean like by the time I was like 12, I was done with his gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, give it to him. He never gave it up.
Nope. No, he was like, I'm gonna be that slack jawed flag carrying, that's God love him, and he worked that gimmick, and he probably still does on the indies.
I think he should have been there for January 6th. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Right. Now, he just had surgery not too long ago. I don't think he's on the indies.
So
he's kicking through barricades. Oh.
Where's Nancy Pelosi? Oh!
Hang on. I've got a meme to make. Hang on.
Etep wasn't that far off. This is a fucking slugfest. Him and Ming, they're not the most technical wrestlers. They're going back and forth.
Right.
So Hacksaw gets knocked to the outside, and he's like, fuck it. He doesn't even hide it from the referee. He just tapes his fucking fist up. Ming grabs him by the hair, goes to pull him back in the ring, and Hacksaw just mollywops the fuck out of Ming and pins him. Like, even Hacksaw's surprised that worked. Like, he just fucking heavy-handed, just whop right on the top of Ming's head and knocked that motherfucker out. And he's all, whoa, and the fucking roll of tape. It didn't even rip off what was around his hand from the roll. So it's just hanging there.
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't see that, Etep?
I didn't.
Because you called it spot on. I mean, Ronnie Garvin punched his ass, but still,
well, look,
tape hand.
Listen, Linda. This is one I don't remember, honestly. But no, and I didn't get to watch this one. But when I see the two names, Duggan and Ming, I'm like, so common sense and logic would tell me that obviously Ming would destroy him. So they're going to put Duggan over in some goofy ass way because that's just how it'll be booked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never, like I said, guy's probably fucking awesome. Like Oz says, he's a super nice guy. That says he's probably awesome. I just never, like I said, I kind of just was like, meh, over him at a certain point, you
Dude.
know.
I hope you have a dream tonight of Hacksaw Jim Duggan breaking Undertaker's streak.
That would make me happy, honestly. Like, cause I dislike the Undertaker streak more than I ever disliked Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So that's actually not a bad dream. I'll sleep easy. I don't care. I was never an Undertaker fan. There, I fucking said it. Like,
It's all right,
I
man.
never
We're still
was.
friends.
I never was.
It sounds
So-
like someone has to make Hacksaw Jim Duggan in a video game.
I have Hacksaw Jim Duggan created already. He's gonna beat the shit out of the Undertaker as soon as this fucking stream's over, and I'm gonna post it on fucking
gotta
Twitter.
record that shit.
Do it.
I'm
Do
gonna
you
record it
have
and
a
post on
stupid
fucking
face
Twitter.
Lex Luger,
Of course I do.
and it says "stupid face."
Oh, what's up, Sal? I didn't see you in the chat, brother. I'm over on another screen, dude. Thank you for stopping by. It's good to see you. Vader, you mean Frankie the Enforcer's dad? Yes. Yes. Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to shout out Sal. Let's see.
Hell yeah. Hail Sal.
Oh, hell sale.
So, yeah. So over on Raw, countering Ming and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, we got the beautiful Sunny. Take note, Summer Rae. Given a backstage promo hyping the tag champions, the Body Donnas, as the Godwins make their way to the ring to defeat Tim Patterson and Tajiri, a young Tajiri. But during the match, Sunny comes out to antagonize the Godwins. Hillbilly Jim runs with whatever their dog's name is to the
Slop bucket.
yeah. He chases her to the back, and the Godwins end up winning this match. But the Body Donnas come out. They attack Phineas Godwin, and they force him to eat that shit slop in the bucket. So they're just fucking shoving it in his mouth, and it's pretty gross. And yeah. Entertaining, I guess, but gross. So Alex Wright and okay, we're back out with Mean Gene, and he's got two girls with him. They're picking more names for the battle bowl. Alex Wright and Disco Inferno will team up, which is kind of cool because they end up kind of hanging out and becoming a team, from here on out. But their names are drawn, and they will team up against Dirty Dick Slater and Earl Robert Eaton. Also, Lord Steven Regal is going to team up with the Belfast Bruiser, Finley, to face VK Wall Street and Etep's boy Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
So, not the most exciting tournament so far, but
Mean Gene also makes a reference. He's like, yeah, if it goes any longer, I'll have to, give you some more money or something. Or he makes a comment about that, and he's like, if you know what I mean. So basically saying that the two girls that were down there with him were escorts.
yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Like I said, dude, Mean Gene was like out in the clubs. Like he's always, like I said, man, every time you're Mean Gene's like, Ric Flair, what are you doing here? Last I saw you were down in South Beach in the clubs with 6 women and you had bottles. And it's like, Mean Gene, what was your old ass doing at the club? Like,
Who do you think taught Flair to helicopter?
it was Mean Gene. Mean Gene's like, Tutti Frutti, ho Rudy.
So while they're setting up the battle ball on Nitro, we get Mankind making his way out. And it's the first time we've seen him since he beat the shit out of the Undertaker a couple weeks ago.
Serves you right,
So,
Undertaker.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This is Mankind's second match on Raw. And he destroys Aldo Montoya. I mean, he's ripping his mask halfway up his face. You can clearly see that it's just incredible. Fucking applies the mandible claw. He's got just incredible spit all over his fucking hand. It's gross. The happy music is playing. And everyone's like, damn, like this is their second time seeing Mankind. Or third time if you count the beatdown. It's like, dude's making an impact. And Foley, talk about people being in good shape. Foley was in good shape back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He was lean.
Yeah. Foley wasn't exactly a wide body back then. No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He wasn't completely
Look at
broken yet.
Hacksaw.
You did
Look
it,
at-
man. Hell yeah.
There you
too
go.
good.
There's one for you.
Told you. Perfect.
January 6th, Hacksaw Jim Duggan was at the Capitol. I told you, look at him.
Hell yes.
Him
He's
and the
supposed to-
shaman.
Oh my gosh, somebody get security. We need to get him into the hearings right now.
He kicked Pelosi's door open chanting USA.
We need to get Hacksaw over to fucking Ukraine right now and put a stop
You
to all
screaming
this.
USA or ho?
you son of a bitch. Give me my scotch back. He stole my scotch. He was in my office.
Somebody, what happens is he's running around chanting USA, USA. Putin thumbs him in the eye, right? So Putin thumbs Duggan in the eye, and then all Duggan does is wind his arm up like fucking Fred Flintstone and hit Putin on top of the head, and go ho, and then we win. That's how it
Fuck
went.
yeah.
If Duggan went over, I just booked it there. I just booked the war. We're done.
So
I like
That-
it.
Take it home.
that ends up being the main event for Raw because I don't understand how Raw is drawing these massive numbers now after WrestleMania. They show a hype package of Shawn Michaels and Diesel's friendship, and when Shawn first hired him to be bodyguard, then they became friends and became tag champs, and then kind of broke it off, but. They remained friends, they remained lovers, but they went their separate ways. And Diesel ends up winning the WWF Championship, and he holds that for a year. Shawn wins the Intercontinental Championship before he's jumped by 47 Marines.
One guy, one punch.
Yeah. And it just goes through everything, and then Shawn finally winning the championship, and Diesel losing it, and kind of snapping.
Be,
and then
Tony, that Shawn was the pre-Summer Rae, and he just was in the bar talking that smack. You should know who I am. I'm Shawn Michaels. I can beat anybody. I'm the Heartbreak Kid, and then got his ass whooped.
He was literally like, I'm Summer Rae.
So. But that's how Raw ended. It was okay. It was just more of a middle of the show type thing that they used to close the show out. But
yeah,
good on Mankind, I guess, for main eventing his first Raw.
Oh, Mankind.
I'm enjoying seeing Mick Foley though. As Mankind.
Same.
I still prefer this Mankind versus the shirt and tie one that we get.
Sacco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I like this the darker character as opposed. Yeah, this
and his
was,
promos are great.
Yeah.
Oh, his promos were fucking amazing.
Mhm.
They
But
were amazing.
They worked really well because of how dark he was going with the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So now we get the all titles on the line match between the tag champions Luger and Sting versus Flair and the Giant. But as Flair's making his way out to the ring, Macho Man runs out to attack him. But WCW, because of Macho Man's behavior lately, had extra security around the ring who basically handcuff Randy Savage and escort him from the ringside area. But it's a whole big thing, adds a little bit of more excitement to the show and to the match. And then as far as the match itself, of course, with all titles on the line, it ends in a no contest when we get a call back from last week. Woman slips Flair some coffee. He throws it at Sting, but Sting ducks and the coffee hits the Giant, Flair's tag partner. So the ref calls for the bell. The Giant's fucking pissed off. Flair's like dropping to his knees and running away and fucking
remember
scared
that.
of the giant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then talking shit.
Yeah. So the giant wants a title shot next week, and Flair's like, "Well, I don't like how you've been looking at my ladies lately, anyway." So they set that up for next week. The giant's pissed off, and he wants another title shot against Flair, and Flair agrees to it, and it's basically the end of Nitro. And Bischoff did mention this week too. He's like, "I spoke to Hulk Hogan. He was on fire last time we saw him. He was beating up the giant, and he'll be back on Nitro real soon, and we'll be sure to keep you updated." But I'm digging Nitro more without Hogan right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah.
Well, that whole bit with I love the skit
Oh,
with
like,
with
especially
Flair.
with him being a
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, especially with Hogan being a baby face and the way he's done it, like every time Macho Man got any modicum of shine, Hogan's like, "But what about me, brother?" And it's like this motherfucker can't have a moment of shine without you fucking it up, man. So just like and that shit wasn't just like gimmick. That was like legit how Hogan was. He was so worried about my spot, brother, my spot, brother. That was him. And it was sad too because it ruined the product because of the level of creative control he had,
Yes.
which led to the incident at Bash at the Beach 2000 with him laying down,
Jarrett.
and for Jarrett. Yep.
And Vince Russo and him are going at it. And,
Yep. I like when Scott Steiner goes, "Fuck you, get in the ring, you old bitch," to Hogan. I was like, oh.
That's awesome.
Like that was gangster as fuck. Like Steiner was like, "Just get in the fucking ring." I'm like, oh.
And
Steiner-
hail my
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, dude. Just hail
you're
my
fine.
sketchbook. Good to see you. Hail Chris Fisk.
Hail,
Good
brothers.
to fucking see you.
Hail.
Bro.
Oh yeah,
Hail, gents.
great people.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was WCW definitely wasn't at his height, but that was definitely like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, that was a crazy pay-per-view. I watched that live. Probably the most interesting pay-per-view WCW had in quite some time at that point.
Yep.
And it ending with Booker T winning the title, that was that was a good move.
Yeah.
Was that his
Booker
first
T-
one?
Yep.
Yes, that was his
Nice.
first heavyweight.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So I just want to run through this real quick. Since we're right there anyway, In Your House 7. Good friends, better enemies, whatever the fuck the name of it was. And it took place April 28th, 1996. In Omaha, Nebraska, with an attendance of 9,563. Definitely not an indoor attendance record. So we get a quick pre-show match, a free-for-all match. Mark Marrow defeating the 1-2-3 Kid by DQ in about 7 minutes. Now the actual show, it's British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, I guess, and Owen Hart defeat Jake Roberts and Ahmed Johnson. I thought it was a singles match they were hyping on Raw. I guess they turned it into a tag match. So British Bulldog and Owen defeat Jake the Snake and Ahmed Johnson when Bulldog makes Roberts submit with the knee wrench at 13 minutes. There we are. This match was supposed to be between Bulldog and Roberts, but the match was changed to a tag match as the show began. It's weird that the match wasn't Ahmed and Bulldog, as they had been feuding heading into the show, which was, it didn't make sense. So, the next match is the Ultimate Warrior defeating Goldust by countout in 7 minutes, and Goldust retains the Intercontinental title. Then we get Vader defeating Razor Ramon with the Vader Bomb. Razor's name hadn't been mentioned since February. All of a sudden, in an interview with Vader on Raw, Vince blurts out, and your opponent at the pay-per-view is the bad guy, Razor Ramon. Weird Raw moment that led to some excitement among non-internet fans who thought Razor was back for good. Unfortunately, Vince brought him in to job to Vader, which was, pretty smart move to put your monster heel over.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this would be Scott Hall's final pay-per-view match as Razor Ramon, and he wouldn't be back on TV until February 2002. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Body Donnas, and they defeat the Godwins to win to retain the WWF tag titles. And then it looks like we have our main event here with Shawn Michaels defeating Diesel in a no disqualification match to retain the WWF Championship. He super kicks Diesel at about 17 minutes. And yeah, I believe this would be Kevin Nash's final pay-per-view as Diesel. And same as Scott Hall. He won't be on WWF TV again until February 2002. So Hogan's gone. Hall and Nash are on their way soon. They're off WWF TV. Mankind just debuted and is kind of on the rise. Steve Austin's finding himself. It's a interesting time. The winds of change are definitely in the air, and I'm a little more excited watching these now than I was in, let's say, October 1995.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Look at my sketchbook's got good taste. He said he agrees with me on The Undertaker. Yeah, see,
I hate you all.
I'm not the only one.
You won. Those were Monday night.
No, but seriously, this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. You're about to witness the birth of the best probably arguably the best stable in the history of professional wrestling. The most imitated stable is somebody who completely blatantly ripped off the NWO gimmick in an indie wrestling company.
What you talking about, Willis?
Copied Scott Hall down to using the fucking. I'll always call it the outsider's edge because I didn't like the Razor Ramon deal. I always liked Scott Hall. I just didn't like him in that gimmick. But I liked him when he was just Scott Hall, And I liked him even more when he became a stumbling, fall down alcoholic because I'm like, it made me feel that much better about doing it, at the end of my career when I did that run. But no, I did, dude. I loved him and Nash together as the outsiders. He's not only my favorite wrestler, but they're like one of my favorite tag teams, like of all time. Like outside, like there's a few like the Road Warriors. I like the fucking Midnight Express. Eaton and Lane. It's even Condrey. I don't. There's. Yeah, I love the fucking sport of professional wrestling. I really do. And the way I look at it now, the state it's in, and it's Vince McMahon that's stifling it. And that and people are like, you can't allow.
The brand has to be over now, not the individual wrestlers.
That's the problem. It should be about it's about the boys. It's about the boys. It's about they don't see outlaws.
That. Yeah, and the future isn't that bright either. Everyone's like, "Oh, I just wish Vince would retire." It's like you guys don't.
He's not even the president anymore.
Yeah, Hunter will burn the entire fucking industry down to brighten his star. Even if he's retired, he will make his top star look bad in order to make himself look good. And as much as you want to hate Vince, he was never afraid to humiliate himself on camera.
No.
For business. Yep. And that's something Triple H, I feel like he hindered the WWE in the this entire millennium, really.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, his politics hurt things.
Yep.
He done fucked it up.
Yep.
he buried every fucking person they brought over from WCW. Every single one of them. All the way up to Sting.
Yeah.
Who he had to wait until what 2018 at Mania. I can't remember.
Something like that.
It was when Sting maybe it was, I don't remember, but I remember that match where they were like, oh, it's NWO versus DX. I'm like, why the fuck would the NWO be siding with Sting? First of all, that makes no fucking sense. Like, he was like the thorn in their fucking side. Like, his whole existence was because of, is that iteration of Sting was to spite the NWO,
Till he joined the Red Black,
and DX,
Oh yeah.
The DX was so stupid after they brought it back. When it's like, dude, you're
it was dumb.
second or third in charge in the company.
Yeah.
The whole
And they didn't even do anything with it.
thing. Yeah.
No, it was
It
just
made
to sell
money.
merch.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was to sell merch. That's all it was.
Yep.
Like, it was like, Triple H's like, hey, Sean, you wanna get the band back together? I don't know, Hunter. What do you think? I don't know how Sean.
How many zeros we gonna make?
Yeah,
Do I make enough to fix my eye?
No, Sean. You're still gonna look like the White Forest Whitaker.
And it went cross-eyed too.
Dude, he like karma caught up with him.
Oh fuck yeah, it did.
Oh yeah.
It's like the nicer the person he became, the uglier he got.
Like the,
He's like this
the reverse of that fucking the portrait of Dorian Gray.
Yep.
Guys, we're like a month away from Austin 316 being born.
I know, man.
Yeah.
And I've even got the
Nice.
vintage shirt out for you, Tony.
Yep,
It's the real vintage.
good shit. That's my favorite one.
I know.
That's my
me too, bro,
favorite
me
one.
too. And then of course I got the title. So yep.
Nice.
Again,
Nice.
I know it's not the WWF version, but it holds up because it did switch to WWE. But again, dude, that when it comes to the end of the day, thickness counts, baby. Don't let her lie to you. Thickness counts.
I thought that was so dumb after WrestleMania 15, where Steve Austin finally beats The Rock, wins the WWF Championship back, and then they spend the month between WrestleMania and Backlash with Rock walking around with the Smoking Skull Championship. And it's like, well, Stone Cold won the belt, but he didn't win his belt. And like, it's just like, he's the fucking champion. Like, this, to just give The Rock a rematch. Like, this doesn't mean like as much. I don't know. It was just a really weird angle.
It's just retarded.
I think the weirdest thing was we went from a generation, with specific belts, right, into the personalization of said wrestler, because you ended up with Austin finally ended up with this one. The Rock had the Brahma Bull, but they never really launched it. But that was the idea, that those were going to be the two main guys splitting, and of course things change, as we all know. And the belts are beautiful. I mean, I've got the WWF version of The Rock. I do not have a WWF version of Stone Cold, but when I get one, I did find one where it's the snake skin on both sides. I think I'm going to go with that version for WWF, because I'm going to have my goal at the end of this insanity, if my wife doesn't divorce me for spending Etep kind of money on this shit, is to have all of the world championship titles that mattered to me growing up. So that includes the NWA title, because I found a real good one on Amazon for like $90. It's 4 mils thick, giggity. And they're going to engrave a name on it that I haven't debated if I'm going to do Ric Flair or I'm just going to do my last name. I haven't figured out yet. Because Flair is the last one that held that title till it went to the big gold belt.
Yeah.
But, I do have the Brahma Bull version of this. I have the WWF version as well, which is more rounded, oddly enough. But again, it's one of those things. I've loved wrestling my whole life, and it bringing it up with you guys, and then you starting the show and being able to be a part of it, whether I'm here or in the chat. I love this shit, Tony, and I appreciate the hell out of it because you're bringing it up into the world, saying, "Hey, let's talk about stuff that matters to us from back in the day." Rewatch it.
When this was going on, like I didn't have the internet back then. My first time we had the internet, I got a web TV in like late 1999. So a lot of this stuff, I didn't get to talk about with friends and fun. And so it's nice to relive it. And Chris, the reason Shawn Michaels looked like a G.I. Joe action figure in the microwave is because the Undertaker got him with lightning. It's the Undertaker's lightning. He just kind of melted him.
Good God.
As far as belts go, I just want the hardcore title. That's all I want.
Yeah, that would be cool. That original hardcore title.
Yeah.
I want this Saskatchewan hardcore international title.
Hey,
that was like Vince Russo's WCW version of the hardcore title, and it just said shit across it. That was the joke.
I just bought a vintage Austin 316 shirt on eBay.
I love those shirts. Those are the best ones. The original Austin 316. It just says Stone Cold on the back with the skull. Like
I had one, and I don't have it anymore. And I honestly, and it pisses me off because I had a Roz Jericho shirt too.
Yeah.
And I can't find. I could. One of them shirts, it just disappeared. I blame my ex Satan because I got that fucking cunt into wrestling, and she stole like my Eddie Guerrero shirt too. So. Jesus.
Didn't we talk about that on Monday? You don't want to share things that you really love until you,
right.
If that girl's worth it or not. Because if they're not, they're gonna ruin the fucking thing you love.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, at the end of the day, man. I mean, I've got some original WWF versions of Stone Cold shirt. I mean, they're falling the F apart, but I've got them. I mean, one of the greatest shirts that they had, I don't have anymore either, Etep. It was when they changed it to WWE and it said "Get the F out." Man, I had one of those shirts. I don't anymore, obviously.
See, that's a negative. I hate calling it WWE.
Yeah.
I do too. It's always been WWF
to me.
Yeah, same.
In my sketchbook, I knew so little about computers and the internet back then. My buddy was like, web TV, I mean, it's okay. You can browse the internet, but you can't download anything. And I'm like, what's download? What is download? Like, I didn't understand the concept of it.
Dude, the first time I used the internet, this is no joke. All right. So, you go to the web browser and you type in whatever. So I typed in something, and when everything popped up from the search bar for the search engine, I had no idea you had to click the blue link. I had to call my brother and be like, I don't understand the internet. How do you use this shit? Like I typed in WWF.com or, I think it was WWF.com, or they might have been WWE then. But yeah, man, I had no clue. I'm like, why doesn't it just take me to what I'm, to the place? It took me forever to learn the internet.
Wow. It's like my parents.
That was like one of the dumbest campaigns of WWF was get the F out.
Mm-hmm.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, I wasn't watching any of that shit at that point. I was doing so much work and traveling and shit. So I'm like, when I did tune in, I'm like, what WWE? What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I knew it was coming because before it happened, I think it was The Rock in the Mummy movie. That little bit, it said something about World Wrestling Entertainment, and I was just like, what the hell is World Wrestling Entertainment? And then, of course, we got
stupid
WWE.
Federation was the coolest part of their name.
Yeah.
And then
I still don't know how you could get confused between, World Wrestling Federation and, the wildlife crap. I think it was the logo change.
That pissed me off so bad because WWF has been around longer
Yep.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it was from when they went to that kind of animalish looking, because we went from the gold and then the blue and the white kind
They
of
had a
logo to that
bad
wild version.
image. Yeah, they were basically the Jerry Springer show, is what it was, and
Yep.
but it's like, look, one of you is a profit-producing business that pays taxes, and one of you just consumes off of other people. Like, why the fuck would the judge award the World Wildlife Foundation that bullshit? Like, it still makes me mad. Like,
I bet political, man. I think it was political. Be honest with you. Come on. We had gorillas and snakes and of course, Etep's favorite Duggins. I mean, they had all kinds of animals in the WWF. Giants.
yeah, well, again,
Yeti.
it comes down to they did it. It's like if I go out, it's like I go out right now and I'm like, I'm gonna start a nonprofit called Comcast, and then you sue or NBC Universal or whatever, and then you're like, you can't use that. I don't like the image you're producing. Well, fucking tough shit. Get over it. We had it first.
I never was on a message board because, of course, that was America Online. Never once when I learned to do the messaging and stuff was anybody looking for world wildlife stuff. It was all WWF talking about RVD and well, not even RVD, but just talking about the wrestlers and what we watched on Raw. I had a little bit of that. But that was it, man. It never once. I don't get it either, Tony. I think it was political.
It definitely was, but it's just, it's ridiculous. It's like, even if you don't agree with what we're doing, we do have a freedom of speech. And it wasn't just, okay, they're making profit and they're paying their taxes, but if you walk into a Walmart at the time, half the fucking boys section was wrestling shirts.
Yeah.
Fucking toys. This, that, the other. The wrestling business was generating a lot of money. It had a lot of influence. And again, it just comes down to the fact we had the name first.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I used to walk into the Walmarts and I saw the kids in there like, where are the pandas and lion shirts? That's what I want right now.
No shit.
And then I even heard one kid going, "Oh, I want a Dr. Fauci candle. Did they make them yet?"
Oh, hell no. I mean, every time I take my son, I shared that photo with you guys, my son holding the NWO shirt when the NWO first came out, because I went to a live WCW event and had a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we'd go in there, and you're not wrong, man. I mean, you had WWF era, you had so many action figures and stuff. They didn't really have a lot of belts per se, but you had the figures, you had a shit ton of clothes. They were on everything. And of course, that was the old days where it was like, well, if you're buying it from the store, it's not official. And like, we were poor, we didn't give a shit. The kids were just happy to have something that they liked.
Yeah.
But every time WWF came to town, they'd come to Notre Dame, the Joy Center, and I would always buy tickets. And my son, the very first wrestler he touched, is one that Etep doesn't like, was The Undertaker, because I was on the metal rails holding him over. And as The Undertaker came out after the end of the match, he stopped and shook his hand, which I thought was kind of cool that Mark did that, because back then I didn't know his name. But I was always appreciative of that. And then I took him, he came to Meyer because his kid was playing at Notre Dame, or one of his stepkids. And he came in for a game, and he came to Meyer and did a sign thing. And I took my son with him with the TV guide, which my ex-wife took and burned, by the way, Etep. So don't feel bad. But yeah, he actually, the photo I have on my wall, which was the ministry version of The Undertaker, he signed it. And my son was with me, and I got to tell him, you stopped and, shook his hand. I says, you were coming back from the Joy Center. You saw me leaning him over, and you stopped and shook his hand, and you're the first wrestler that he ever got to meet. And I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And that's all I said to him, and then I left.
Nice. Did he say anything back?
He said, you're welcome. because he was still in character, and I was just, at that point, I kind of knew a little bit more about the biz, but I still thanked him. I'm like, thank you, like seriously, thank you. It meant the world, and it did, because my son, before he went into the military and everything, he was a huge wrestling fan as well. He loved wrestling. Bret Hart was his wrestler. To Austin was his, basically it was the whole whoever they had on the TV. But all the kids were different. My daughter loved the Hardys and of course Lita.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
my
Lita
youngest was
awesome.
a Rock fan. Brendan was an Austin fan. So it is what it is. I myself, I was always a huge Savage fan back in the. I mean, obviously Flair, like I said, Flair, Piper, those were kind of my picks. Wasn't a big Hogan fan. I like Duggan though, but
this one's for Etep.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect from a Druish princess?
You ever heard a rumor about yourself and actually wanted to hear more? Like, damn, what did I do next?
Well, the rumor that Jim the Animal might hurt my dad because I resemble him other than the red hair, but
yes,
I'm gonna put Undertaker in the Capitol on January 6th too. Now take that.
Yeah,
Take that.
The American Badass version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
No, the Phantom of the Opera version.
Oh yeah, with the mask. No,
the one opportunity.
The one I'm about to go.
Did he have the flag on the motorcycle and all that shit?
I'm about to go pick No Mercy up and get Dale Torborg, Mike Enos, and Wayne Bloom and beat the shit out of the Undertaker with them. I'm gonna put Rick Fuller over in the Undertaker. Fuck him.
You know what I'm saying? I'm into that shit.
Hey, Evan Courageous, want to go over on the Undertaker? Where's
Undertaker's a legend.
You're gonna
Disco
have Shelton
Inferno.
Benjamin fight him.
Come on, Disco, baby.
Oh, I got Disco. I got who else? Dude, I have the most obscure like.
Etep, tell me. Speaking of obscure, tell me you made a George Floyd for the game. Fentanyl, baby.
Fentanyl.
I haven't made St. Floyd a fentanyl yet.
Oh, come on.
I wonder if I could get a GTA hack for George Floyd. Is there an emulator where I could put George Floyd in like not Vice City, but San Andreas?
They did Godzilla. I think they gotta have him, right?
I mean, you would think somebody.
Why am I playing as Derek? Why am I playing Grand Theft Auto as a cop? You're about to meet this guy named George Floyd and find out. Okay.
You're about to start the riots that never ended.
Etep, he purposely is trying to get all 5 stars, and then he runs into a police station.
I used to go Halloween 5. Hey, it's me, baby. I'm here.
See, you're making me want to bust out my PS3 and start playing all these games. I have so many games for the PS3. I have a few for the PS4, but I never really played it much because, eyesight and whatnot had failed by then. But PS3, bro. And then I've sent you, Etep, a lot of stuff that I've got back. And I've always said, if I've got any games that you're missing that you're needing to borrow, just holler at me.
I'm gonna go play No Mercy after this. I got a couple. You're talking about like the general manager mode on the video games, and it's like I'll show you my general manager mode. I've got stacks of notebooks from fucking cards I book for No Mercy.
I've seen them. I have witnessed these notebooks.
I book a Raw. I do not Raw, but I do 4 Nitros, 4 Thunders, 2 Saturday nights, and then a pay-per-view month by month. And I've got running championships and angles and shit like that. And I do it all on paper. Wow. I don't have an emulator or anything because I've got, like I said, I got 2 N64s, 2 No Mercy cartridges, and like 10 controllers, I think, with memory cards in them, with all the different guys I created. So yeah,
it's awesome.
You know how he is with Batwoman? That's how he is with the video game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Right. I've been doing that since 2003, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should get a capture card and record a bunch of it.
Me and Tony were talking about that. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say classic games, and then yeah, I'm gonna go around so everyone can kind of plug their stuff, and we'll wrap it up, guys. Thank you for a great night.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah,
man.
brother.
This was a
Anytime.
blast, brother.
Hey guys, I'm Angelous Draven. After here, as soon as we get off the air, I'm going to go over to my Twitch. We're gonna play some Fortnite with the guys.
Diversity.
Yeah, and yeah, try to get some wins over there in Fortnite. If you guys want to come over there and watch us play that, you're more than welcome. If we need any people, we can probably rotate you in too. So yeah.
I need to play Fortnite eventually.
Don't
It's
do it.
free, and I've never.
It's a trap.
It is. It is,
Yeah.
but I always die. I always call it crawling around on my hands and knees and getting shot in the ass. But yeah, I suck at it. But then again, hey, it's fun.
It is fun.
I got to play with Jason Mewes. What can I say?
The Rock
Like,
is in it right
famous
now.
person I know and have met. I got to play with him, play Fortnite briefly until I had a Kindle moment and my computer crashed.
Oh,
No internet, but hey, it's all good.
What were you saying, Vinny?
No, I was gonna say, is it anything like the Uncharted game, like when you could do like co-op shit? Is it sort of like that?
it's a battle royale like
Yeah.
shooter, third person shooter. They do have a single player, but it's kind of like they
Well, no, the co-op like on like Uncharted 3 and I think you know 4 too, it was kind of like you could like you run around and like you go after the trophy shit, or there was like a couple different things, survive the waves of attacks, that kind of shit.
that's more like the there's a PvE player versus environment mode called Save the World, and that sort of does those kind of things where
Okay.
you have like waves of enemies that come in, you kill them.
So
And you
then
don't have
wait,
to go against real people. But then
what's-
there's the main game, which they
Mhm.
put more attention to, and it's clear that that's what they do. That is like a battle royale. So you have a storm that's coming in, and it gets smaller and smaller, and you gotta fight each other, fight other teams
Okay.
and stuff. You can do like solos up to squads. They even have like creative mode where you can do like custom games and stuff. So
Cool.
I need to try that. I need to play Genshin Impact too.
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's another free game, but that yeah.
A lot of like.
There's a lot of microtransactions in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. And guys, make sure to go over to Draven's YouTube channel, Draven's Twitch channel. Subscribe to both. He's on Twitch working his ass off. So go show him some love. Check out the new emotes. And yeah, dude, thank you.
Yep, anytime.
Mr. Etep.
Ooh, it's
With
like
my-
the Italian flag back there.
Except it's the Latino world order. Orale!
I know,
Arriba la raza! There we go. All right. I
It's
had to
more
get that. I had to
Mexican.
get
I know.
Hi, I'm Etep Wokuian of the Place to Be Reviews. You can find me tomorrow. I will probably be doing a video, I assume. And then we have Wednesday Night Live at the Place to Be. Tomorrow night, myself, Tony, will be joined by none other than Black Angus Reviews, Supreme Heretic, and if he's up to it, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, which I don't know. He's not feeling too hot right now, so hope the
Shit, I missed
the
your
little
show
injury
again.
heals.
Fuck, I forgot completely.
Oh.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, son of a bitch! So, yeah, tomorrow night, that's 9 p.m. Eastern on the channel. And then Thursday and Friday will be spent working on Batwoman until completion. That's what she said. Thursday night, though, at if I'm able to stay awake, I don't know. I might be on Black Rose Comics tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. They started too late last week. It's like Phoenix is like, we're gonna start at 10. I'm like, I'm old. I'm like, you can't do that to me. I'm like, you can't tell me you're gonna start at 10. I'm old. I'm gonna be in bed wearing my sleep mask after I've taken my melatonin with my earbuds in. bruh. I'm like, I can't. I need my beauty sleep. All of this magic just doesn't happen. All right. No, he had like a ankle injury. He's kind of
Yeah.
he kind of jacked himself up. So, and he's got a lot of shit he's dealing with. So, if I hope he's still able to come on tomorrow night with Drew and Black Angus. It's gonna be a fun night. We'll have holy shit news and our usual debauchery. Friday night though, over on the channel, you can catch me, Tony, Vinny, Draven. Superfan will probably stop by. Nick's going to be there from World Class Bullshitters. Kendo's going to stop in. I'm going to toss the invite out to Jeff and the guys over from Echo Base, Nick and Coach, just to stop by. And then we're going to, it'll probably be like the core, like there'll be like probably 4 or 5 of us will watch the movie. And the clubhouse leader right now is very apropos because Draven will be there. And it's my favorite vampire movie, John Carpenter's Vampires, the 1998 masterpiece,
Oh, yeah.
starring James fucking Woods.
Yeah.
One of the most based motherfuckers in Hollywood, and red pilled. So yeah, but no. So join us at the place to be. We're up to 1,053 subscribers.
Nice.
Yeah, we just kind of we went to 1,000 and just like, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna keep going. And I was
Hell
like,
yeah,
I was kind of surprised. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I have to figure out how to turn channel memberships on, but I don't really have anything to offer yet.
Right.
So I'm not even gonna fuck with it. We gotta get that set up, and we're gonna Tony and I were talking about doing with and I have somebody else who's a great friend of the channel going way back to the Anchor days. Talked into recording some stuff, some content for a possible Patreon or for channel members, stuff like that. Some commentaries and things on some movies, and just some other stuff like that. And I'm not starting any of that now, but I'm just telling you guys that will be available in the future. And we're gonna keep it, like I said, I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it cheap, So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want anybody to think this is why I'm into it. But like I said, any money I make is gonna go right back into the channel, up in production, things like that. And I appreciate everybody that dropped super chats the other night. Still, thank you guys, and thank you Tony, Hale, the panel, and the chat. You guys fucking rock, man. Thank you. This has been a blast.
Yeah, man. Thank you, and again, congratulations, man. I'm
Thank
so
you, bro.
ecstatic.
Hell yeah, brother. Super proud of you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's an achievement for us, man. I mean, you've been around for 2 years, bro. I mean, you've been with me for 2 shows a week usually for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barring a couple work instances when you couldn't make it, but and where I had to cancel. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's a us thing, man.
It's
Like I
scary
said,
too, Etep, because I've been with you a year and a half, so just 6 months shy of Tony being with you. Just in the chat, thanks to Nick, UTAM, of course, from World Class. But that's what makes it great, coming together. And the fact, like I messaged you earlier and everything, the fact that you appreciate the people, you're not trashing the people.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
It's not about the money. It's about the fun. And as I told you, I appreciate what you do for all of us and the hours that you have put into the entertainment you give us.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Then thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Special, dude. As hard as you work on the Batwoman shit, I would have quit doing that along. Like, okay, the joke's over, but you put in work every week, and
dude.
Yeah.
There was a point with those where literally, like, it was towards the end of the first season, like going into the second season, because like the second season I really ramped up my production. After the first couple episodes, I'm like, because I was still kind of hurting. I'm like, I fucking hate doing these. I hate it. And I was like, you know what, dude? This show's shit. You know it's shit. Own it. Own it. And have fun with it. And I'm like, you know what? And that's what I started doing, and it made it easier to spend literally almost a day, a full 24 man hours on a punk ass video that might get me anywhere from 150 to 300-400 views. So I'm all right with it though, because it makes people laugh, and I get fucking kick ass comments, on the videos saying, hey, this is cool. So I suffer so you don't have to.
More power to you, brother.
You suffer because you enjoy it.
I'm masochistic too, so it's fine.
The only thing that really got him through it, be honest, was all the masturbation.
Pretty much.
The violent
Lesbians.
masturbation at that.
Angry, violent masturbation.
Oh shit! Oh, there I am. Hey guys, it's my turn to say the pretty words. Yeah. Again, when you're charming, when you're nice, ladies just jump on your lap. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, if you want more of my content, please check out VinnieArt on YouTube, on Twitter. I keep hitting pause throughout this mute throughout this whole thing because I still got a dumb cough from this coof bullshit. But yeah, man, over here we're gonna keep doing our best. My shows are on Fridays and Sundays. We're gonna have more cool guests on. I'm gonna have Raven Monroe on again on my Friday stream. She's a fantastic creator. So if you want to see someone who's just bubbly, fun, super talented, check that out. We're gonna have more people on there as well. Because Fridays I want to do a little bit more kind of promo stuff, but I'm gonna still have the kind of wacky, crazy shit too. Sundays are really crazy. This past one was fantastic. We had a great time. Tom was there, Etep was there, Chris was there. We had Liam drop in. It was a great time as always. But I am working damn hard right now on Shadow of the Kraken, getting more pages painted. As we're sitting here talking wrestling. Just getting more done, and it's incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see this. But yeah, don't forget you could also get the acrylic standees. They're brand new to the campaign itself, and they're limited. So please jump on them as soon as you could. That first night, I moved like over 20 of them. I had to add more, so I added an extra 50 just to give people a chance to get them because they look so damn good. But it's like I said, we're working hard here. We're gonna keep giving you the best. We're not like the gay frogs. We actually deliver, and you guys don't have to wait 3 or 4 years for a book. And it's all new content. Surprise, surprise. So trust the guy who actually is an alpha. Right here.
Yeah. It's like the variant cover 2.
Oh, dude, ridiculous.
The variant cover reboot.
In SKW, they're found in New Jersey. They're the ones who pretend to be alphas, and they actually adopt the SJW tactics. Fuck that. Anybody who's shitting on other creators constantly and trying to hurt their campaigns is a real awful person. While they're sitting there trying to preach about, we got to change the industry. We're going to be the industry. No, we're the independent scene over here, and we should be coming together in order to actually get great books out there into everyone's hands. Enough said, bitch. Go ahead, Tom.
No, just you can either live your life destroying things, which is what like censors do and the worst people imaginable, or you live your life creating and contributing. And I mean, it's really as simple as that.
Yeah, that's it, man. Keep creating, be kind to one another, and you too will have ladies just jumping on your lap. Remember that.
Who is that?
It's a nice lady. I'm not saying names or telling who people are because I got a lot of fucking creeps now who are starting to stalk me. Apparently.
Yeah, makes sense. She looks familiar, but I don't know if it's her or the style. So I didn't know if maybe it was.
It was a pinup show, so she wanted to get all kind of dolled up for the pinup thing.
Yeah,
she's not a celebrity or anything.
No, okay.
Sweet, beautiful woman, man.
Absolutely.
I got to learn to be nice and charming.
Right? You can do it.
Awkward and weird.
Yeah, I'm awkward and weird.
I have a course that I teach. It's only $100 a month. Stop me if you've heard this before, but it doesn't involve me getting. Never mind.
All he wants to hear is that at the end of it, your hand is on his ass. Vinnie Mac. You can catch me Digital Pollution tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, men's room, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be probably late to the men's room because I shall be partaking into the gigantic celebration for Etep Wokuian is the place to be reviews. As you know, I support these guys as much as I can. Frank and the Wiener Dog Clan, that dirty little bastard, he stole my wallet and he even sent a super chat to Pete. The clown behind me sent him a super chat. Possibly another account that nobody else knows I have, other than a couple of people such as Etep knows. But yeah, again, it was well worth it. Wish I could have done more, but I'm glad that we all came together and helped you get to that 1K spot because, brother, you've been there before and got it taken away. So I'm just happy that you're growing, not losing, as you have so many times. Keep up the great work.
That's right.
As a super fan, the Madman with the Wiener Dog Clan, along with Frank and everybody else, if you can, back the independent because the indies are the way to go. Great people like Vinny and Red. You know, these guys are at it as hard as Etep is with Batwoman, Guinea. And Tony with the Eminem video and the stuff, you know, trying to find the time and the schooling and then to come play with us. So thank you, Tony, for everything. Love you, brother.
Love you too, bro. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. Sorry I was late. We were moving dogs, and well, you know, it could be kind of a show here when you got to move a whole bunch of wiener dogs from area to area. So that's just part of the clan, though. Getting them all moved where they need to be, and it's actually kind of quiet now that we moved. We had 3 girls going to heat, so everybody kind of had to get moved.
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah,
a lot of things going on in the clan.
Always, brother, always. But you know that's what happens.
I hope nobody just walked in and heard that part alone.
I know, right?
That's Wiener Dog Clan.
Wiener Clan.
Guys, tomorrow we're gonna take a trip to Wuhan, so look out for my video because, yeah, big things are happening, man. I can't wait for y'all to see it. Nice. Yeah, and then later on it'll be Wednesday night at the place to be reviews. That's a kick-ass lineup. It's going to be a fun show. I'm excited for Friday. So big things are happening, you know, it's onward and upward. And I want to say too, while we're plugging everyone, check out Infinitel Chronicles from Chris Fisk.
Yes. Chris is fantastic. That book is amazing. And he gives you the best quality, man, right out of the gate.
Yeah. Like, dude's working hard and, like, coming up, not just, it's hard enough to, like, create a book, but everything around it that he's coming up with. And, you know, he was talking about these pieces that are going to have a little chip in them and it might go towards a game later. Just, it's everything around the story and around the project as well. That's just, I mean, this guy is living it and breathing it and just trying to give you the best product he possibly can. And that's more than you can say about a lot of people. So fucking dude's working his ass off, show him some love. And again, and more than just the hard work, like Vinny said, I mean, it's a kick-ass book. It looks great. Man.
Yeah, he's one of my co-hosts on my channel as well. So yeah, definitely check him out. You could find him over there as well. Every time I stream, I send it to him because again, I could see somebody who really loves this product doing what we're doing. It's a story that it took him, you know, like, well, it's been in the works 30 years. It was started as a tabletop game, and he decided to make it into a comic book. You know, that is a fantastic thing, man. So, it's someone who's really passionate about what they're doing. You know?
Yes. So, thank you all. Thank you, everyone on the panel, everyone in the chat. You always keep the chat alive. Fucking, I can't express in words how much I appreciate that. And for everybody coming to hang out with us, talk some wrestling. God, I yearn for these days. And all the time I wait for that next wrestling boom. And we've been waiting a long time for that.
20
Don't
years,
know if
bro.
they'll... yeah, there
Mhm.
probably won't ever be another time like the Attitude Era and how big and mainstream wrestling was,
Yeah.
and just everyone was so fucking cool. Everyone who was on your TV screen had something fun going on. It was it was a time to witness, and
Mhm.
geez, if I did have any regrets, it's not knowing all of you back then, so we could fucking talk about it. Because
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh yeah, but we know each other now.
yeah,
Yep.
and that kind of shows you how big it actually was. That
It
people from all different parts of the country, from all different walks of life, can come together and just remember this moment in time that was
Yep.
just perfect.
it was,
So,
Amen,
man.
brother.
It
Yeah.
shaped. It was a cultural fucking phenomenon, dude.
yeah,
Like
It was.
people short sell wrestling. Look at its cultural impact on everything. It's
everyone was doing the DX job.
Yeah, they were.
too
Everybody.
sweet. Everybody's
Yep.
too
Yep.
sweet. DX, Austin 316. Everybody knew that shit.
Yep.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Even the Rock,
Um,
like with the
the
smoke,
oh
Rock is
yeah,
cooking and shit
you
like
smell
that.
the
Yep.
people's fucking eyebrow.
Yep.
Even dude. Yeah, there was the fucking Undertaker.
And the
Mankind.
Woo.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Woo.
When
Oh god.
Jericho first showed up,
Yep.
like that countdown and stuff,
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
just little moments like that. All I can relate them to was like finally going to see Infinity War or Endgame, and like it's just one of those pop culture moments that,
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. It was
I mean,
greatness,
It
man.
really was, man.
yeah. So, thank you all. We'll be back soon. Um, can't wait to see what happens next week as we move further into 1996. I think the one thing that I'm just kind of right now is that I know SummerSlam's going to be Shawn Michaels and Vader, and nothing against Vader. He's just like, when I think of main event title matches at SummerSlam, I don't think of Vader. But
Yeah.
geez, it's just going to keep. I can't wait for King of the Ring. That's around the corner, and NWO and all that. We'll be talking
Oh,
about
dude.
that here in like the next month or two. So I mean, it's coming, you
Hell yeah.
guys. Um, thank you all. Remember, they are not pop culture; they are agenda. We are pop culture. Have